Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome back to your power call. It's still not letting me connect my camera the way that I would like to. It's a little frustrating here because you all won't be able to see the video the way that I see it. Man, wish I would have known it was going to do this. But anyways, today we are talking about do for self or suffer. Do for self or suffer. And so what I want to show is a video today that talks about entrepreneurship, business. And we know the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said business is the activity of life. Business is the activity of life. Every other creature doesn't beg and wait in a line for food, clothing, and shelter. We have the ability to use our creative thinking, our mind, to do something for ourselves. So I know many of us have business ideas. We've had business, we've had side hustles. So what I want to display this video to kind of just give us a idea of how to expand what we have, expand. But I want to first read something from Message to the Black Man. I'm sorry, this is not Message to the Black Man. Our Savior has arrived from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is what he said. Wow, did I click off of that? Dang, I clicked off of it. Hold on. Or did I not? Okay, here we go. So this is Our Savior has arrived, chapter 24. God helps those who helps themselves. That title within itself is something to write down. God helps those who helps themselves. But look at what he said. Join up with me on the Decent and Sensible program beginning on page 223 of this book. He said, get business minded. Get a creative mind. The degree of education we have today, given to us by the white man, can be used effectively to go for self if we want to go for self. Look at what he said. He said, you do not like doing right. You do not like doing something for self. You glorify begging the white man to do for you that which you can do for yourself. I warn you that the day is not far distant when you will be forced to do something for yourself because the white man is bound to drop you, and that he knows, but he is not telling you. He is allowing you the chance to make a fool of yourself and be caught at the time like a grasshopper who enjoyed the summer weather. But cold weather kills the grasshopper. It freezes him to death because he has no house to lodge in. He said, you do not want to be separated from your enemies, regardless of what kind of treatment you receive, and they do not want you separated from them as long as they can hold you with them. You serve as a protection for them, and they know you love them and want to be like them. They will agree with you when you say separation will not settle the problem, while that is the main step to take from an enemy who would not do justice by you. Leave and go for yourself. So then I looked up because he said business minded. Okay, well, what does business mean? What does business mean? Looking up that definition. Well, when I looked up the definition of business, this is what we found. Business is a usually commercial activity engaged in as a means of livelihood. That's one of them. Another definition says the practice of making one's living by engaging in commerce. So basically fulfilling a need, trade and commerce, doing business, providing a product or a service. So many of us, and I want to lean in on this right here, because I know some of us think, oh, I'm not good at anything. I don't have this gift. I don't know that I don't know if I have something that people needs. I want to expand our mind to stop thinking that the only way to earn a living is by you being the person that's delivering the service. I do not believe the person that owns McDonald's in your hood is literally in the back doing the fries, making the burgers. I do not believe whoever owns the Starbucks in your hood, in your neighborhood, is the one literally back there making and putting the coffee together. They're the visionaries. They're the ones who are bringing people together, right? Now, I made a video about this yesterday. I said we should not strive to be the best at everything in our business. I know it sounds like, well, that's crazy, right, Brother Ben? Shouldn't I? No. No. Because you striving to be the best in your business, sometimes that's us trying to do literally everything. I want to be the editor. I want to be the graphic designer. I want to be the customer service. I want to be the one that's closing on the calls. See, you're doing everything and you can't scale to that 6 figures you want, 7 figures you want. Why? Because there's only 24 hours in the day. So you will never get to that point because it's only you. You have to have a team. So when you're thinking about making more, earning more, here's the first question I want you to write down. Write this down. It'll force you to think. Next time you want some more money, how can I get this money without me trading my time for it? For some people, you can't even fathom. Because some people, when you want to make more money, your first thought that comes to your mind is a second job, a third job. Instead of how can I deliver more services or better services, more value? How can I impact more people by scaling myself? So what I encourage you guys to do, here's the typical flow that we have. Employee. I'm an employee because everybody told me growing up, get a good job. Go to school so I can get good grades. So what? So we can get a good job, get that insurance. They got benefits, dental, health, so I can, work 40 years, 40 hours. Oh, come on. Y'all know the system. So then we get tired of that. Man, this ain't worth it, man. I'm coming in this job every day. I'm building somebody else's world. I'm not really able to enjoy what I really, you see what I'm saying? So I can't really travel. I ain't really got enough to live the life I really want to live. I'm getting older, so I'm starting to see my time is clicking. I ain't spending, I'm not able to really live and do some of the things on my bucket list. So, man, but I'm at the same time, I'm a little afraid. I'm scared because I'm so used to the check every 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Nobody taught me business. So then I start the side hustle. Okay, well, let me sell some cookies on the side. Okay, I got them cookies. Come on, y'all know. Come on, got some candy. You finna start your little t-shirt brand. You trying to do something on the side to what? I'm just trying to get my feet wet. Let me see if I can make a sale. So you start something on the side. Okay, boom, okay. Ooh, what can I do when I get off work? You gonna do your tea. Your sisters, y'all gonna do your TLC. Come on now. I know come on. You gonna do your tea. You gonna sell the tea, the weight loss tea. You're going to go into that because you see the coaches, they making them all, let me, I got that tea going. Then you're going to try that for a little bit. If that don't work, then you're going to go to something else, sell jewelry or something. Then, that's the process. So that's that's self-employed. So we go from employee, trade my time for money for somebody else. Self-employed, now I feel better, but honestly, if we be honest with ourselves, I'm still imprisoned and my time is not free. Because I'm doing for self now, self-employed, meaning I'm shooting your video. I'm doing your photography. I'm coaching you. I'm providing you. I'm doing your taxes. I'm doing your policy as an agent. See? So I'm making more money. I have a higher potential of making more money now. That's good. But it's still me doing it. So I'm still technically trading my time for money. It just feels better because I'm doing it for me and I'm not doing it for somebody else. But I still ain't got time to really be free because now watch this. I'm even working more. See, I had a 9 to 5 then. Now I'm self-employed. I'm really working more hours for myself. See, I'm getting less sleep working with myself, but it feel better because it don't feel like work. Then from there is where we want to talk about today. The business part. The business part. Now, instead of me shooting the video, this is what I want us to do. And I wish I would have did this years ago, but hey, man, it is what it is. Whatever you do, family, everybody who's self-employed, everybody who has a skill, I want y'all to think about this, man. Do it ASAP. You're gonna love yourself for it. I want you to SOP out, standard operating procedure. All that simply means is, that's fancy language for write down the step-by-step process of what you do. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this: you can have a university under what? A tree. Because all we need is one person to go get the education, and then he teaches others what he knows. We don't need no big old building. You can have a university technically under a tree. So what I want you to do is I want you to stop thinking, I'm going to do this. No, think about, what do I do? Let me map it out and let me make someone into me. Let me duplicate myself. The faster you can learn to duplicate what you're good at, the faster you would duplicate your money. And see, that's the hard part. And see, it's easy for me I'll do the video myself. I'm telling y'all my real story now. It's easy for me, man, I edit the video myself. Y'all taking too long. Man, y'all just don't, they don't get it, man. They just don't see what I see. No, Brother Ben, you better learn how to communicate it better. Of course they don't see what you see, son. It's in your brain. It's in your mind. So don't get frustrated that it didn't get done the way you wanted it to get done. No, sit down for a little bit. Think about how you can map out so they can see what you see. That's the hard part. Then once you can map out and lay out step by step what you do and how you see it and why you did it that way and how you did it that way, now you can make 4 of you. Ooh. Now imagine if you got 4 of you, sister. They can bake that cake the way you bake it. They can make that bean soup the way that you make it. Now you can take orders now, because you ain't finna be tied up trying to make 50 bowls of bean soup. Now you have taken your recipe, the way that you do it, the way that the right seasoning you put in it. Now you can scale because it's more than just you now. Now I want to address this. Brother, somebody said yesterday on my page when I was talking about this, I said, stop trying to be the best at everything. Be the best at bringing the best around you. Now, I got to address this spiritual part. In order to have something like that and you begin to grow, you got to remove envy and jealousy up out your heart. See, business really spiritual. Business teaches you, it tests you so much spiritually, your faith, jealousy, envy, your heart. See, when you bring someone around you and they really better than you. See, that's what you really want. I want somebody that's better than me at doing graphics, because graphics ain't really my thing. I want somebody that's doing better than me at managing the business, because managing the business ain't really my thing. I'm just doing it because I got to. I want somebody that's better than me at sales, because that ain't really my thing. I just got to do it. But when you attract him, when you attract her that's really better than you, and the people can see that, what's your heart like? Can you keep them out front and not have a problem with it? See, these are the problems that you run into. Are you secretly jealous that they're attracted to him, but they're not attracted to you? Are you okay with knowing, hey, man, that's all right. I brought him together. I want him to be better. I want him to keep going. I want her to keep going. Because if not, the jealousy and the envy that you have with your team member, the jealousy and the envy that you have in your partner will cause you to do things that'll destroy the partnership. See, this is the part they don't talk about this in no college. They don't talk about no envy and jealousy. I'm telling you what I done seen, man. We ain't just talking about get your CFO and the CMO and the CEO. Yeah, all that's good. We need to do all that. But this spiritual part we got to tackle. When you bring someone on and you start to feel away. Hold on now. Hey, now I started this business now. And I'm not to care about all that. We just trying to grow and impact people. But if you secretly, hey man, I put this together. Hey man, this my idea. Something's creeping up. Something's creeping up. So if you even have to say that out of your mouth, something's in your mind, you're wrestling with something. Hey man, shoot, this wouldn't be nothing without me. Something's happening. Now we're not focused on the impact of the people. We focused on something. We focus on something internal now. And then here goes another part. See, we look at the Million Man March and what happened and what in it. I honestly, this is a side note. I hate when women, brothers ask me, well, what happened from the Million Man March and did nothing happen. Ask your daddy. Ask your daddy why nothing happened. Ask your pawpaw, your uncle, why didn't the minister said, hey, raise your hand. Say your name. He didn't say my name. He didn't say, raise your hand. Farrakhan. No, John. Ben. Adam, whatever. So ask your daddy and your great grandfather, whatever, who was there, why nothing changed in your community. He said, go back, men, and make a change. So that's the side. And I get tired of hearing people say, well, what happened? Ask your daddy. What did he go back and do? Anyways, but the process of atonement, see, if we really internalize and implement it in our life, strive to the process of atonement, then we would be able to, when things come up like that in our mind, it may naturally come up. Say, man, it's my business, Chief. You got people thinking it. Hey, you can sit down versus letting that thought harbor in your heart. See, like Cain. See, Cain killed Abel. Look at the minister. Because he was able. Abel didn't do nothing to Cain. See, so when we talking business now, I know y'all thinking, damn, Brother Ben, I thought we talking about business. We is. Because see, the minister, he teaches us, man, this is a book that they got us looking 2,000 years back when it's 75% prophecy. These ain't necessarily two brothers per se. These are two possibilities in the mind. So you can have a Cain that says, damn, my brother looking chosen. I'm going to kill him because God chose him. I'm not going to sit down and ask with the right spirit, hey, God, why did you choose him? Nah, I'm just going to kill him and destroy my own future because of my emotional reaction. This happens in business every year, every day. This is why music groups break up. This is why this is why people break up all the time. Because of this. So we can talk about the computer, the tech, the funnel, the ads, but man, if we not fixed here, man, all that gonna be destroyed. So look, Cain, all he had to do was sit down and figure out, hey man, why was he chosen? He probably could have made a slight adjustment. And even if he wasn't chosen, if he falls in love with what the God has done for him, if he's more grateful for what the God has done for him, he wouldn't be worried about what the brother getting. He's so grateful for life. He's so grateful for being around. He's so great. You see, he wouldn't have no room to be jealous and envious. So the more you fall in love for what the God is doing for other people, you know that's an example of what he can do for you. You remove that up out your heart. Anyways, but when you feel that, you can sit down with your brother and say, you know what, brother, I've been feeling something, man. Been feeling something. You know what, sister, look here, man. Hey, I've been feeling something, man. This is going to mess up the business if I don't address this. Oh, you got to have them tough conversations. But if you can't have them tough conversations with your brother about what y'all building, you will destroy something that's bigger than both of y'all. Damn, all them quotes online. Look good online, tough. Oh, nigga, this is what we supposed to do. Man, all that sound good. But if you can't sit down with your brother, man, and have a tough conversation about who been done wrong and being willing to forgive, all them quotes online and sounding good online don't mean nothing. You get you a bunch of likes. Oh, man, the quotes sound really good. Especially when you got the right music behind it. Oh, man, it sounds amazing. That's easy to do, though. Make that phone call. Get on that Zoom call and look at them in the face. Say, man, listen, this is what I've been thinking, man. I mean, let me stop talking behind your back. Yeah, at least let me say what I done said behind your back to your face. Let me go on. This is what I've been feeling, man. And just be real about it. You don't even know. Sometimes it may be something that, man, that's it. Oh, man, my bad, man. Let me correct that. It don't even gotta be big sometimes. Y'all, it be little small stuff. Maybe a little small misunderstanding. This is what destroys business. So if we're not humble enough, when we bring a person around that's one of the coldest graphic designers that you've ever seen, and the people start to say, man, I love his graphics. Ooh, I love that company for them graphics. Ooh, you got to be comfortable saying, praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. All praise is due to the Most High. Because you just as valuable as him. You got to be comfortable knowing that, though. But look, another spiritual thing, when you're not as comfortable, when you're not as secure as you say you are, when you're not as secure as you portray to be, that's hard to do. It's hard to say all praise is due to Allah when you need people to say something to you to fulfill a void. So this is why the minister says self-improvement is the basis for community development. See, if I'm dealing with all these really traumas and issues and self-esteem issues, I look good now. I'm masking it with money. I'm masking it with my car. I'm masking it with my expertise and knowledge that don't nobody else have. Oh, it's difficult for me to say all praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to God, Most High, whatever, when somebody else is getting praise. Because really, I'm not secure as I think I am. So if I'm not getting the public praise and I'm just the one behind the scenes, although I know how important I am, this going to be difficult for me. So there's a work that we have to do There's a relationship that we got to build with the God that, man, God knows. God knows. I don't give it really. You get to a point where I don't give a damn what they think. The God knows. I'm dealing with something like that right now. I can't even say nothing. I'm going to say something eventually. I let it linger for a little bit. But sometimes you got to just be like, man, I don't care what they think. I don't care what they was told. They don't even got the full. I'll share it later. God, Allah knows. You got it. So when you get to that point where you got to be so secure that, man, if don't nobody know, I'm straight, man. I just want to see it successful. I just want to see it. I just want to see it successful, baby. Yes, sir. Because that's ultimately why I did it. Right? That's ultimately what I want. Right? See? Got to check ourselves. Well, damn, why did I do this? Did I start this really for validation? Or did I start this really because I want to see people free? Or did I start this really because man, this is a lot of spiritual stuff that's how I'm just trying to point some things out, man, because it ain't as easy as just, get an LLC. Then when I get an LLC, I'm going to get me a website. And then when I get a website, I'm going to put the website up, get a digital product, and I'm going to start promoting. No, man, there's so much that comes with this. When you're going live and you ain't got no big brand yet, listen to me. You ain't got no big brand yet. And you got one person looking at your live. You hanging on a string. Your self-esteem is on a string. And you teaching, well, hey, guys, I just want to come on here and talk to you guys about what I've been doing. And you got that one person watching. Watch this, y'all. Your heart beat like this here. It go from one, then that one person leave. Boy, that hurt, don't it, boy? When you see that go from one, okay, you like, I at least got one person looking at me. Then that mug go, boop. That mug go to zero. Ain't nobody looking at your live, and you just lie. It get awkward. Ooh, you be like, so what y'all want to talk about today? Y'all, anybody got any questions? And you just sitting there. Boy, ain't nobody watching you, boy. Can you keep going live? Can you keep teaching knowing ain't nobody looking at me? Can you do that every day? Every day, knowing I ain't got 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 500 people watching me like everybody else. But can you be consistent every day, no matter who looking at your live? That's internal. You have to know they may not be watching me now, but they'll come back and watch these later. Because as I become successful, my influence will grow. These will become more valuable to them later. I ain't tripping. I don't care if only one person watching. I'm finna teach them like I'm teaching 500. That's mindset, though. So this is where I'm getting at. You can get all the tactics in the world. Post 3 to 5 times per day. Go live. Say this when you go live. When you make a video, focus on the first 3 to 5 seconds. That's your hook. That's what's going to get people attention. Then go into your value. Then end with a call to act. We can say that all day long. But if something internally, you can't do the live because really you feel ashamed. You feel away because ain't too many people watching. You got low self-esteem. You think that means you unworthy. You will never go live. You will never do the things that'll get you to 500 people watching you. That's the spiritual part. This is the mental part. You got to know that number that I'm looking at don't make me who I am. I'm valuable with 1, 0, or 500. But you got to believe that. That's what'll make you say, I'm going live tomorrow. I'm going to be back at 5. They show up or not, I'm going to be back at 5. That's mindset. You have to become, you have to develop, we have to develop the habits to become what we see in our vision. We have to become that. Mentally, we got to see it. We got to develop the thought process because it is our thoughts that leads to how we feel. How we feel leads to how we act. How we act leads to our results. So in other words, as the book says, if you want to change the fruit, you got to change the root. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's what changes things. Now, next thing, sorry. I gotta go deeper because everybody's not gonna go deep into those things. These is real things, man, that take place. People really be dealing with this, man. They deal with, I'm live, but this person got this many views. You comparing now. You comparing. Come on now. I done been there a little bit. Listen, when you make a post, come on, bear witness with me. If you press 1, if you done made a post, nobody liked it, you deleted it. Who gonna keep it real? Now, who gonna keep it real? You make a post. Damn, didn't too many people see that one. Damn. Let me go and delete that real quick. Come on, man. I know what that. Come on. Let's be real. Why did we delete it? We thought it was, we just knew this one right here, fire. Ooh, this the one right here. Ooh, this one here, this finna go viral. That mug get 2 likes. That mug stuck on 19 views. And it crushed your spirit. It crushed your, it made you feel small like a mug. We got to get over that. See, these are things that people deal with every day. That people don't talk about when we talk about, just make a post 3 times. There's a spiritual component to this, man. People fall victim to depression on this here social media. People begin to, whatever somebody says in the comment, this may be a 14, 13-year-old that's playing with you, that's enjoying your feet. Not even 13, 14. This may be a 27, 35-year-old playing, man, with a fake profile to make you mad, to get a reaction out of you. If you don't know how to handle this, now you want to turn your comments off. Now you want to have your page private. Why your page private and this is a business? Well, it just make it a little bit more exclusive. You ain't Beyonce. Ain't nobody finna be knocking down your door to look at your dang page with 4 posts on it. Now, this just, if I like it, it's gonna make them want it even more. Man, this ain't the dope. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Look. No damn Blue Magic. You ain't no, come on, man. Don't nobody know you. I'm be keeping it exclusive. Man, you better be as open as you can be. So you can grow this brand, man. It's real. Okay, next part. What I've been trying to get to is this. I just keep different things just keep coming up. So excuse me. I hope I'm saying something of value when I have these little interruptions. But some people yesterday said, well, Brother Ben, I don't have money to delegate. So I want to give y'all an idea of what I've been able to do over the years when I ain't got money to delegate. I want y'all to realize this. Money is a medium of exchange of value. Say that again. Money is a medium of exchange of value. So here's my question. I'm going to say it one more time to make sure I'm hoping it's clicking. Money is only an equal medium of exchange of value. So if I want to delegate and I don't have money, what do I have left that I can offer? One more time. Money is an exchange of value. If I don't have money to delegate, I don't have money to hire. If I don't have money, what do I still have? Value. So now what you have to use, see, here's the thing. So many of us are so broke, all we have is money. Ooh, they didn't catch that. Say, hey, watch out now, boy. Hey, did you hear me? I think he heard me. But some of us so broke, all we got is money. All you got is money. So You have to think. We got to think bigger. You think the only way I'm valuable to somebody is if I can offer them some money. No, you not. No. You are greater than that piece of paper, man. You just have to know and learn how to communicate your value. But you greater than that damn $500 that you can give him. You don't think you more valuable than $1,200? Some people, the answer is, no, I don't. That's what you got to work on. So what I've done is this. Say, man, my vision is so strong. My vision is laid out. I can offer, look at this. Here's way number one. Offer a percentage. Offer a percentage. Hey, man, listen. I ain't got the money right now to pay you $2,000 a month. I don't have it right now to pay you $1,500 a month. However, here's my plan and how I plan on us making anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Okay. Now, the reason I'm not able to scale this above what I've been doing on my own is because I'm not really good in this area. But if you're able to help me in this area, we can definitely grow this past this because I have more time to focus on mine and you good at what you do. We're going to take this thing to bigger numbers. I just give you 20%. The more we make, the more you make. The more we make, the more we are all together. So that's a way that you can offer, get help without having money, right? Okay, hey man, I need me a manager. I need me this. I need me that. Hey guys, I'm gonna give you guys my product is so good. I want you to go through the program. I want you to do the program yourself. I want you to take the service yourself. Now they convicted. It helps them. Well, I just added value to them by trading my service, giving my service to them for free. What did you think about it, man? I love it. It was so good. Well, I'll give you this affiliate link where you can pay others, where you can get paid to bring others on. And maybe if we scale this, and how many people do you know? Man, I know, man, I was popular in high school. They may make some money. They may make more money doing that than they would getting paid from you monthly. That's another way, you know? And then this, I want you guys to think about this. Now, everybody may not be able to do this based on the model of your business. But some people who say, well, I don't got the money to pay the people to do it that you talking about delegate. Use the money that you receive to go hire them. But you got to know your numbers. So if I know I need somebody to do websites, run ads, create content for my clients, I'm not finna be doing all that. I used to think that way. That's why I'm trying to get y'all to not do this. And if you're doing it, stop doing it immediately. It'll help you. You'll love yourself. I used to be the one, well, I'm editing. I got to edit the video. I got to do the automation. I got to do the website. In my mind, I'm running the business. Boy, you weren't running no business. That was you killing yourself. Anyway, but I got to go get the numbers. Hey, man, how much is it going to cost you guys? I want to partner. How much is it going to cost you guys to do this funnel? I'm going to give y'all the strategy. I got the idea and the mindset. I just need y'all to do it with your graphics. Okay, great. I got my number. How much you cost for editing the videos? Okay, what if I wanted 20 video? Would you give me a good deal on that? Well, I can go down and okay, got my price. Okay. And then how much you charge for automation? I need that. Oh, okay. Okay. Boom. Got my team together. Now, I'm not paying them nothing right now. I just got them on standby. You see? So then I got my price. I got my expense now. This is my expense. My expense may be whatever. Now I got them. Now I gotta factor in how much they cost and then how much is it gonna cost me. See, because I'm still valuable now. I'm managing them. I'm not doing it, but I gotta manage them, make sure they on point. I gotta have the SOPs. I gotta have this, and I'm meeting with them. So I'm managing them. That's, you see? Then I may consult. Now I ain't gotta do all the doing. I can just focus on what I do best, my expertise, right? So I factor all that into the price. So when they pay me, okay, I take that money, the portion of 30%, 40%, whatever, pay my team. They got it done. I didn't have to pay them. monthly, and I ain't got nobody that pay me for nothing. So now you able to save money because now you ain't got nobody on a retainer, and then you got a slow month, and then you got to pay somebody out your pocket, and you ain't get, you ain't got nothing, you know what I mean? But you got to pay them every month because that's the contract y'all got. Man, if you just pay me every month, then I'd be cool with that. Now you got to hope that new clients is coming in. Or you can say, listen, we're gonna do a case-by-case basis right now. As people come in, I'm going to hire you to do the work. And my goal is to free. Now this frees me up. Since y'all doing the fulfillment, this frees me up to do the marketing. I'm going to get more people in. That's what this going to do. So you ain't got to have no money out your pocket. You using the money from your customer to pay them to get the job done. So those are just some creative ways. Those are just some creative ways. Now, somebody said, talk Quran, not money. No, we talking money today, brother. All these other days, we done talk Quran, Bible, spiritual. We get on money. Now, here we go. Here we go. And this is one of our problems, too. Whenever we get to talking about money, well, we not supposed to worry. We ain't worship money. Didn't nobody say worship money. Why we always got to be so extreme with money? All of us, since y'all want to talk money, get out your house. Stop paying your taxes. Turn your car back in. Stop paying your insurance. Stop telling your children to get a home. Stop telling your children to get a car. Stop telling your children to get married. Stop telling your children to get a job. Stop telling your children to go become a doctor. Stop all that then. Because all that involves money. All of it. Stop taking your children to the school they go to because the state getting paid pretty good every time you drop them off at school. Why we stop going to the grocery store? Stop talking about food because you got to buy the food. So stop. Just stop. I mean, damn, how are we going to grow without talking about it? How? So many people we are slow when it comes to money. We all learning. Hell, I don't know everything. I'm learning every year. Every month I'm learning something new. And I learn from my mistakes too. So how we supposed to be do for self and study the white man and all this here? How? We gonna keep complaining about the Jews, huh? Man, the Jews is the most powerful. How long we gonna keep complaining about that till we start learning? Well, shoot, how can we get some? How can we get a business? How can we eventually go into a factory? Well, how we gonna get there and we can't talk about it? How? But then we can't. But if I came on here complaining, you wouldn't say nothing. If I was on here, man, we suffering. We the last. We the number one consumer. Man, shoot, man, we ain't got nothing. We ain't coming together. Oh, you would be like, yes, sir, teach, brother, teach. Yes, sir, brother, teaching. Damn. Now we coming with a solution. We talking about ways we can grow, ways we can use it. Now we got to stop talking about money, man. Talk about the Quran. Talk about the Bible. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, it's better to teach separation than to teach. Oh, come on now. Well, let me quote it right because I know somebody waiting for me to say something wrong. Let me quote it right. Let me get it. I think that's what he said, but look at this. Yeah, let me pull the quote verbatim. Boy, I know you somebody watching trying. No, he didn't say that right. Let me give it to you. Ooh, yeah. He said, this is from the minister. Listen to this now. It is better to teach separation than to teach prayer. Why is that?
It is better to teach separation than to teach prayer. Because you can pray all you want. Living with the devil.
Okay.
And when you walk out your house.
Yeah.
And turn on the TV.
Yeah.
He's there influencing you and your children. So your prayer that you said at Fajr.
Come on.
Is ineffective by Salatul Zuhr.
It's ineffective, man. It's ineffective. So we can do both. We can do both. You talk Quran on your channel. You talk Quran. Today, we talking business and the mindset. Cause soon we lose, soon we don't get paid. Man, this devil, and the bank, man, damn. What's the solution? What's the solution, man? It says Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is Islam. After learning, you must learn how to use it to get some benefit while you live. What is it? It says that is luxury, money, good homes, friendship of all walks of life. If we never discuss it, man, how we gonna get there? We can't keep saying do for sale, do for sale, do for sale, do for sale. What somebody at some point, somebody gonna say, man, what the hell does that mean? Let's just be real now. At some point, a youngster gonna say, man, what does that mean? Well, you know, just do for sale. No, you gotta break that down for me. Break it down. How do I do for sale? How do I start the business? How do I run the business? How do I think in the business? How do I hire? How do I expand? How do I invest? We can say what, but if you don't teach me, hey, I'm gonna bump my head. Because you told me to do it. I'm striving to do it. You didn't come tell me what to do. You didn't come say, here, bro, let me sit down with you and walk you step by step what that look like. So, of course, I might think do for sale. I mean, let me sell some of these packs. So if you don't come tell me, I'm going to bump my head. Then you're going to be mad when I bump my head. So I think Sister Ava Muhammad said, we tell the youth what they shouldn't be doing. Can we share with them what they can do? So no, man. This, I think is needed. Because I heard the minister say, if you still working on the white man's job, and you haven't learned to get off of it, something like that, he said, you ain't following the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If you still working for this white man and you have not found a way to get off, he said, this is if y'all think I'm lying, it's in my head, he had the red bow tie on. The lecture is called, There Is No Mystery God. He said, you ain't following the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when we hear that, what does it mean? What is my step? A, B, C. What does it look like? What's the insight? So we got to talk about it, brother. Now, you was a man posting that. Well, you look like a man in your picture. You paying bills, ain't you? You got to pay them bills. And if you're not paying bills, then, hey, man, I don't know how you living for free. You got to pay for food, that light bill, that insurance bill, that Wi-Fi bill, that phone bill. All them is bills, man. So we can't get away from it. We can't get away from we cannot talk about it, but we're going to be talking about it in our head at night. Man, god damn, but e-bills seem like it come around every 2 months. So you going to talk about it in your head, or you going to talk about it amongst us, and we're going to come up with some solutions. Which one you want to do? All right, here we go. Let's, man, y'all not going to be able to hear this. Well, y'all going to be, yeah, hold on, let me. Okay, now we're going to go, we're going to go to this video. This video going to be really good. This is from somebody that I study. His name is Vusi, African brother, man, but he's really good with helping out with business and entrepreneurship. I think y'all going to love it. I think I went longer than I thought I would. I was going to go, but hopefully I said something that was valuable though, but I think I went a little bit longer than I anticipated to go. But here we go.
And the third rule is you would notice that there is no presentation. None. So these masterclasses aren't curated. We don't go, we're going to tell people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go, what are the problems? And let's help each other.
Hey, those of y'all who on Zoom, y'all can see the screen, and can y'all see it and hear it? Let me know if y'all can see it and hear it on Zoom.
Solve them. In the last masterclass we did in Joburg, we had a kid who designed South Africa's very first own native soccer boot. Very interesting kid. He's 19 years old, right? So he's designed and he's built the soccer boot. He's got like 50 pairs or something. So I said to him, there's a couple of instructions I've given him. And I said to him, once you fulfill these things, I'm going to buy a pair of these soccer boots for my son's entire soccer team. Anyway, so he's built these soccer boots, and he comes and he brings the boot with to present to everybody and show them the boot, right? Amazing story. And the innovation for him was, how do I design a soccer boot that for the majority of the population who live in areas of the country where the sports grounds aren't grass but gravel, the soccer boot will sustain. It won't wear, right? Like, what an interesting innovation, right? It's what I call the real world innovation, not apps. No offense to anybody with an app. I need an app about which app not to get. That's the real app somebody needs to design. So anyway, so he comes and then he presents this and everybody loves it. And he asks me a couple of questions, and the truth is I had nothing to tell him. I'm like, great business, but nothing to tell him. In the back, there's a lady who's sitting down, very quiet, tiny lady, about this high, literally from the floor to here. She's about this high. She puts up her hand, and she comes forward and she says, I'm a trademark and copyright lawyer. I've been doing it for 15 years. I'm going to do a trademark and copyright for free. Wow. That's why we're here. That would have cost him 100,000 Rand to probably do it properly. Now he's getting it done for free, right? You're going to love this. Another lady sitting at the front with dreadlocks, blonde dreadlocks, puts up her hand and says, oh, I used to be an executive at Edcon, so I'm going to see if I can connect you with one of my people at Edcon to stock your merchandise. I saw the email 2 days ago. They'd taken an initial batch of 2,000 orders. That, Bazalwane, is why we are here. Now, how do I explain Bazalwane to white people? How do you say it? Hey? Saints, ne? Yeah, Bazalwane. It's just how we call each other as black people when we are lifting each other. Bazalwane. Good. Shall we get started? So, no presentation. This really just starts with a question. Any question from anybody, anywhere? And from the questions, we just begin to have a conversation. If you can, just kind of introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, and then let's get going. Sir, the Speaker of the House recognizes you.
My name is and I currently work in advertising, so I don't actually have a business as such, but I just want to see where I can take some of my ideas. But what I find I'm struggling with is actually trying to find a niche to get into my sort of market and industry. And once you find the niche, how do you actually start pricing that? So I want to find out.
Hey, sorry guys, how many mics have we got? Two? Okay, can we have one this side? Who's going to ask the next question? Right, can we make sure that you get the mic so that we don't do this running around?
So basically, I just want to find out, like, how do you actually find your niche?
How do you find your niche? What do you mean by that? I don't understand what that means.
Like for me, I'm a designer, so
right. What do you design?
Logos, branding,
okay.
That kind of thing. So, but it's especially in this day and age where social media is kind of taking it over, and lots of people and businesses are reaching out to those type of creators. How do you set yourself apart in that sort of space? Or how do you sort of specialize in that sort of space or find something unique to get sort of market share?
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
So first, don't take the mic away because I just want us to have a conversation. The first reason you're in trouble is because a lot of creators, particularly who work in sort of like the graphic space, the videography space, and the illustration space, actually don't know that your entire craft is being commoditized. So there are firms today and there are platforms built where I can go in and punch in a name and it'll give me 1,000 iterations of what that name can look like as a logo. Right, different fonts, different illustrations. I can buy it as a video, a GIF. I can buy it as a 3D deep image. There's one I saw a day ago, literally a day ago, which blew my mind away. And what they do is they do application of the logo. So once I've bought the logo from the platform, they'll give me the entire collateral. What that means is they'll give me the logo, they'll give me the renders, they'll give me the AP file, the PNG file, and then they're going to give me the letterheads, the business cards, everything, and I'm paying this with a credit card for like $1,200. So I don't need to have a coffee with you anymore. Go, my business sells coffee. It's like, you know, I go into the thing and I type my business sells coffee and asks, I saw the questions, like 7 questions. What does your business do? Who are your chief competitors? Yada, yada, yada. And then it infers from all of that, it runs an AI behind the scenes and it goes, if these are the businesses you're competing with, this is kind of what the logo needs to look like. So for instance, if I had a business to sell water, my logo would look different for a business to manage pensions. Because the pension fund is a trust economy, so I need like darker colors, more trusted colors, black, navies, and grays. So my logo might look like something like Alan Gray or Sasfin. It won't look like Valpre. It does that. It determines that. You just spent 4 years at graphic design school. I just paid $2,000 and I got the stuff done.
Wow, look at that.
So the reason I'm telling you this is here's what I would do if I was you. And I think every creative in the room needs to do this. Guys, if you're creative, work in a content house. Who needs creatives? Vusi needs a creative. You want to know why? Because we're publishing 3 videos a week. Who the hell's doing my edit? Yeah, like when we put out the poster for this, who did the? I don't want to sit there and do posters. Like it's a low value activity for me, right? But what a lot of you are doing is you're going, I want to run a design house. Sure, you and 500,000 other people. What I would do is I would really go and find a niche environment, a niche entrepreneur in a niche space who needs a lot of creative. And I would make myself an asset for that guy. It's a bit like the kid who's taking a job today as a business analyst or as a coder at APSA. I wouldn't do that. I'd want to find a guy with a crazy idea and I want to become the CTO of his Facebook. Same skill, very different trajectories. Yeah? Cool, man. Yes, ma'am.
Do I need to stand?
No, please, just.
Hi, Sanbonan. My name is Ndombia Ise Dube. My question is, say I've got a business which I've started. I'm going to use the example of selling amakwing.
Right.
I sell
What is amakwing in English? Amagwinya. It's amagwinya.
Sisters minus the sugar. That's amakwing.
But with a lot more flavor.
Yes. Fat books. So I'm using the example of amakwing. Say I'm selling amakwing. I've got the corner that I'm standing in, selling it with a rent each.
Right.
And now I want to take my business to the next level.
Right.
What are the structures that I need to put in place in order for me to push my business to the next level? Now, I know when we talk about entrepreneurs, everybody says you need to be a person who perseveres, all the soft skills, for a lack of better word. But what are the hard skills or hard way that I need to have in place in order for me now to move from 3 corners of selling amakwenya to the next level?
That's a great question. That is the fundamental question of why we're here, right? It's a small little word called scale, right? So, and people often ask me the question, why did nobody tell me this is in my ear? I can trust you guys, eh? People often ask me the question, so how do I know when my business... Oh, you can't hear me from the back. Can I have the microphone back, please? The same lady who said she can't hear me last time, she just said it again this time. So people often ask me the question, how do I know when my business is not scaled? The answer for that is actually very simple. Could you take 3 months leave and your business still meets its performance targets? If you can't disappear from your business for 90 days, you're not an entrepreneur. You're what we call self-employed. What happened?
Hold on, let us all sit in that for a little bit. Ooh-wee. Let's just sit in that and marinate in it and let it sizzle in our spirit. Ooh. Okay.
Did it hit you hard, eh? Huh? Is that you? Guys only laugh at that when they hear a nice bar and a hip-hop song and they're like, oh! Oh! Yeah, you're not, that's why, for me, the distinction is actually not academic. It's important, right? It's a very important distinction. There's a couple of models that go around. I'll share with you one that I kind of share with entrepreneurs, right? So there is a difference between being an entrepreneur, yeah? Being a business owner, yeah? Being self-employed, Yeah? I beg your pardon? Being an employee. No, well, that wouldn't quite make it onto this. And being a professional. These are not the same things. So a professional, I am a doctor. I'm a dentist. Yeah? I heal the patients. But if I'm not there, nobody heals the patients. Right. So I'm fascinated by the idea that there is a doctor who runs a practice, yeah? And there is a doctor who runs a hospital, and there is a doctor who's a CEO of a hospital group. I'm fascinated by that because they clearly have the same training, they just operate at very different levels. Yeah? The other thing you need to recognize is this is not for everybody. Most people, I think like 90% of people who say they want to be entrepreneurs actually just want to mean I want to determine my own life. Now, if that is what you're saying and that is what you want, which is you want to take your kids to school and rock up at the office at 10 o'clock, leave the office at 2, work a 4-hour day, then that's not quite what we mean by entrepreneurship. You want to be self-employed. Very big difference. So the graphic designer is somebody who's self-employed. I employ me, but I do the job. I am the value. Yeah? The professional is the lawyer, the advocate, the person, the accountant. You absolutely, positively must have them as some part of your business. They may use an underperson, underling to do the work, usually some sort of apprentice, but it's very difficult for them to scale their businesses because they need to sign off the document. You know, when my audits get done by EY, I know who the partner is. So if that document's not signed by him, even though I know he didn't do the work and his apprentices did, he must sign the document, right? So he's clearly a professional employed. Make sense? If he was to start his own business, a lot of professionals do this. So you leave EY, you leave PwC. I see a lot of black professionals, by the way, who walk into companies oversold on this thing of transformation and then get there and realize that the companies are quite as transformed as you used to be. Oh, rule number 4 of the masterclass, as we call it as it is here. And I've just seen so many of my friends who do this. They're like, oh, I've joined company X, Y, and Z. And then 3 months later, they go, yeah, no, I'm leaving. Right? Typically, when they leave and they say, I'm starting my own business, really what they mean is I want to be self-employed now. I used to do HR as an HR business partner, and I'm going to start a recruiting company. Yeah? I used to be in the legal team. Now I'm going to do legal stuff. Right? Those people aren't entrepreneurs. You're self-employed. Big difference. The business owner is kind of the level you're talking about, right? So the business owner goes, so I've got this business, right? And rather than employ myself, I'm going to employ people to manage the people I used to manage, right? The thing is, you can never shortcut this process from here to here to here. You can't shortcut it. You have to go through all the steps, right? So if you think from day one, and this is, in my mind, a lot of the mistake I see some of my VC friends make who are chasing valuation growth. Long story for another day, but I really think that there's a bubble in South Africa, particularly in the tech space.
Sorry. I wanted to point something out. Did y'all catch what he said when he said, make sure y'all can. He said, make this a circle, man. Hold on. Man, this is some good stuff. All right. Y'all can see me, right? All right. So he said from self-employed, entrepreneur, and then business owner is different. The entrepreneur manages the doers. The business owner manages or is over the person. He hires people to manage who he once managed or do what he was once doing. He was managing, then he's hiring somebody else now to manage. Now he really, totally out of it. What I wanted to stop and say is that those are two different skill sets that you have to document. Like one is, okay, I have to become skilled. I got to go to Skillshare. I got to go learn this skill set, how to edit a video, how to do photography, how to do taxes, right? Then the next level, watch this, y'all. The next level is I have to learn how to manage the doer, meaning I have to learn how to SOP out what I did. Okay, this is how I did the graphic. This is what I consider. This is how I use the software. This is how I do the taxes. This is where software I use. It's like an SOP of what you did, right? The next level is building out an SOP on how to manage, right? So how often do I meet with them? What am I looking for? What are we talking about? And so now you have to document how you now manage the person in your company, because how another company may manage and do things may be different how you do it. So I'm just sharing with us, y'all, there's just different levels to this. So many of us are on YouTube and we're trying to get these courses and all of that type of stuff to learn how to be a better doer. Do. No, man, a better manager is what actually grows your wealth and gives some of you all the freedom that you really are looking for. But you got to be thinking and documenting on that level. You can't think do. Think better leadership, better visionary, better manager, better hirer, employer, if you will, better documenter, better trainer. So the better we get at training, not necessarily our target audience, but training our replacement. When we get better at, I'm finna come up with not just a program for my student, but a program and a training for the person that's gonna replace me, that's when I'm able to scale myself out. All right, just wanted to make that point because it was something that stood out to me, but let's go.
Where we're overvaluing companies off the base of the fact that there's more funds than there are good tech companies. So they're attracting very high valuations, they're getting a lot of money, but the entrepreneur driving that business hasn't gone through the natural process of growth. If I took a potato and I put it in the ground, and I gave you another potato and put it in the ground, and you watered your potato twice as much as I did mine, your potato wouldn't grow twice as fast. Because the laws of nature are fixed. Like, I love my son, he's 8, but he has to go through puberty. He can't skip it. That make sense? So a lot of us try to skip phases of growth because we want to get to the other side. The mistake you make is you don't realize that in that phase of growth is a lesson you've got to learn. So you have to manage your people long before you get managers to manage your people. Yeah? Gary Vee calls it being dangerous enough. Dangerous enough means I know each and every single thing about my business that I'm dangerous enough to know when you're bullshitting me. Yeah, but if I start with a business today and then the government agency gives me funding and I employ 100 people, I'm not dangerous enough because I wasn't there. Like in your business, who wrote the sales process?
All right. I'm sorry. I got to stop this now. Some of us right here, right? Look, some of us, and I know I apologize for pausing. I got to point these things out. Some of us, you're trying to rush the process you in right now. I'm ready to be a business. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to listen, man. Where you at right now is the perfect part. And you ought to be glad that you're not further along than you thought you was before hearing something like this, because now you can consciously now think about and know I need to be learning something during this phase. Before I seen this, I used to say this myself when it comes to editing videos. The reason I know when I'm hiring somebody, when they taking too long is because I know how to edit. Like, bro, it don't take you 4 hours to edit that video, bro. It just doesn't. So I used to get on my team about that. I had a brother hit me up, and I'm going to interview him. He said, bro, working for you got me so cold in the market because I can edit videos and I be having it to them so fast because you used to have us pumping out so many pieces of video. But it was because I used to make 10 pieces of video 10 videos per day and put them on my Instagram. I got 40,000 posts on my Instagram. So you can't tell me it took you 8 hours and you only got one video done. So some of you all, you trying to skip that process and you don't want to embrace where you are. You don't realize this phase right now is going to protect you in your future. Because you had to do the emails, you had to do the calls, you had to do this, you had to do that. So when somebody comes on and you find a VA, watch this, you find a VA that say, this is going to take me about, it's going to take about 20 hours of work. No, it's not. I had a VA try me. I'm hiring you for tech, but bro, I ain't slow now. So he told me, oh man, to do this AI, it's gonna take, man, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. Do y'all know I found out how to do that in 2 days? Oh man, how did you find, where did you get this? Yeah, don't play with me now. You trying to charge me about an hour and telling me it's gonna take 2 weeks and all this here. How much money did I save by just knowing? I'm just trying to paint this picture for y'all. How much money did I save myself by knowing, because I'm familiar with how this works? I may not know how to do it, but I'm familiar with how to find, I can go find it now. You see? So he wasn't able to and let me say this, he probably didn't do it on purpose. He probably really didn't know that it could get done. But from me just studying and staying aware, in my mind, I'm like, this ain't gonna be no 2 weeks now. So I found it and found a software that did it that day in about 2 days. So I'm just trying to give y'all that context, man. Embrace where you are, get the lessons, learn as much as you can, document SOP, write out your process as much as you can, because the faster you do that, the faster you can get to not being stuck in your business, okay? All right.
If it ain't you, there's a problem. You've got to write the sales process. Then you've got to sell it. You've actually got to try it. You've got to sell to the first few customers and make sure the sales process works. Because if you don't do that, when you employ 20 salespeople and they're not giving you the numbers, and they give you 1,000 excuses, which all salespeople will do, you're going to believe them. It's only if you go through the process of building it that you go, no, man, it's rubbish. What are you talking about? My team will tell you, like, if a client comes to us with a sale, it's now the scariest thing for them. They go, how do you know all these people? I'm like, 15 years, dude. Of course I know them. I've worked with them at some point or another. Oh, who called you? From what company? Oh, yeah, they used to work with so-and-so. How do you know that? Yeah, no, they used to work with so-and-so. Then they left and went here. Now they're back. But they're back as a consultant. They're not there full-time anymore. Oh, by the way, they're not going to give you X amount for the transaction. You're going to have to go in at 85% of the value of the transaction. But what we should do is add a 20% premium on the actual proposal, so that when they discount us down at the 20%, we get the value we wanted, not the 85% that we're willing to pay. I go, how did you know they were going to do that? I know the company. I know the politics. I know how I just know. Yeah. So you're going to have to go through those steps. Yeah. So your question was, so how do I know to scale? Like, now I've got my Magwinya business in 3 corners. How do I get it around the country, right? It's a bit like saying to the general dealer in a township, what's the difference between you and Pick n Pay? Because if you really think about it, a retailer is a retailer is a retailer. They take a brick building, they put goods on it, they put prices on the goods with a shelf talker. When you go and pick up the goods, you go to the front, there's somebody who helps you, usually a cashier, you pay them and you take the goods. So why is the one listed and the other one, you have to work it every day? And it's because of how you gear it for the growth of the business, right? The point is, just on that alone, you could run an entire masterclass. I know. Just like, where do you focus? Where do you grow? What are the key areas that are important? Let me answer your question this way. The first thing to understand about scale is you will get it wrong. Nobody scales right the first time. And if they're scaling right their first time, here's what's happened. They've raised money and they've got enough money to pay for the sins of failing, so you can't see it. I've never met one guy who scaled the first time and got it perfectly right. Doesn't exist. If that was the case, then EOH wouldn't be going through what it's going through right now, right? Those of you who don't follow the EOH story, EOH is a listed IT stock. And for like the past decade, they were the best performing IT stock in the country, like doing really, really well. EOH's model was very interesting. They were going around and buying small IT companies. And so the revenue growth of those IT companies showed on their top line is their revenue growth. And to buy those IT companies, they weren't actually using cash. They had some sort of mezzanine structure. So they would give the entrepreneur who started the IT company a little bit of money, but they'd pay them a predominant amount of money in the shares of EOH. So as an entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur, your biggest risk is that you're locked in. You are your business. When you die, your business is gone, right? So if I'm thinking about my family and I go, how do I make sure that my enterprise value I can leave to my family? If I listed my company, then I could sell all my shares as the majority shareholder. So that was the idea. Join us as EOH, and we'll give you EOH shares, which are listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and that's a part of how we pay you. Great story. One tiny, eeny-weeny little problem. which is all these companies you're buying are different names, different cultures, they work in different industries, they sell to different people, and they do it in different ways. When you're a listed company, you can't have the word different anywhere. Because if I'm a shareholder buying your shares, I've got to know that you know exactly what you're doing, that you've taken the right precautions from a risk and a regulation perspective. So where did they get caught? They got caught with state capture. When it turned out that some of the small businesses they bought were facilitators of major contracts that facilitated the state capture project. Now, I don't imagine the people sitting at head office knew. Maybe they did. Who knows? I mean, I'm very good friends with some of the executives who've just left there, right? And Stephen, who's taken over, is a proper risk guy. But Stephen, who's just taken over that business, is coming to turn that company into a bank, which very simply means no deal's going to get approved unless he sees it. You think the rate of growth of the EOH share price is going to be the same? Of course not. It's going to slow down now, right? But even when they scaled, the model of scale they used, when you look at it, you go, oh, this is a fantastic scale model. Yeah, until the rubber hits the road. Yeah. Here are, I think, 3 things I would give you. We do this in our accelerator program. So we have an accelerator program that we put entrepreneurs through. It's a 12-month program. We're actually launching our next one, I think, in a month's time. And this model isn't new. Any of you here who've done like some sort of management studies, you would have seen this model. So we go, what is the functional area of your business? And then we go, how robust are you? Very simple. And again, this isn't our model, it's all over the place. So it looks something like this. So from a functional area perspective, we would go, sales is a functional area. Marketing is a functional area. HR is a functional area. IT is a functional area. Legal, functional area. You know, there's an entrepreneur sitting in this room right now who's a one-man show who's looking at this going, what is he talking about? Let me tell you, you are doing all of these every day. You're just not realizing that you're doing the different stuff. Vusi phones and says, can I please buy? You're now a salesperson. But before Vusi phoned and said, can I please buy? You posted a post on Facebook. You were a marketing executive. At the end of the month, you have to pay yourself a salary. Now you are HR. To send Vusi the invoice, you send an email. But now you are IT chief. And before I pay you, you send me a contract. Now you are legal. Yeah, Did the penny drop for you? Did you? You're sitting here like, yeah, he's right there. This is me, Chief. Chief, this is me, man. Hey! Yeah? So you're multi-skilled, right? Remember my comment about being dangerous enough? Yeah. So first, my like model of growth is first do all of them. Yeah. Then hire people to do all of them. Then you'll hire people who manage the people who do all of them. What most people just want is to have the perfect business that has managers who manage the supervisors who supervise the people who do all of this. That's going to take you time. It's not going to come overnight, right? Nothing worthwhile actually just doesn't come without effort. So these are functional areas. Then the question you got to ask yourself is, what do I need in terms of people? Yeah? What do I need in terms of process? Yeah? And what do I need in terms of technology in each of these? So let's test this. I run a business. I am a company that sells water. Everybody these days is in the water business. So I run a water business. So from a sales perspective, what would I need? Let's imagine my model is something like this. Tell me if this sounds remotely familiar. I'm going to go and make 1,000 liters of water, and I'm going to bottle them each in 500 milliliters, which means I'm going to have 2,000 bottles. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find young kids in townships somewhere standing on corners, and I'm going to give them my water. I'm going to say to the kids, you sell the water. I'm going to sell the water to you at 5 Rand. You sell it at 7 Rand. Yeah? And I'm going to call these kids entrepreneurs, which they're not, but that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go on social media and I'm going to tell everybody about it. And I'm going to go, this is what I'm doing. Check me out. Right? Done with good intent. But I want to show you why this model is important. Done with good intent. Right? So now I've got 50 kids out there selling my water. Okay? The kids don't know anything about the manufacture process of the water. I probably don't know anything about the manufacture process of the water. I just get the water, right? But these kids who are selling are now my salespeople. They're not really entrepreneurs. They're my salespeople. I've got to have a process of recruiting the right people, because if I get the people wrong, I've got a huge risk. I've got people who control my products and who can sell it and not pay me, and I don't know them. So there's got to be a way about recruiting the people. Then I've got to have a process. When do I deliver to them? Every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday? When do I collect? When do they collect? What's the process that they use to tell me how much quantity they need, how much demand they have? And I've actually got to document that process. And if I'm smart and I'm thinking like a scale entrepreneur, what I really want to do is go, rather than do this myself, I'm going to find some sort of technology that I can put in place. Hey guys, here's a system, a platform, an app. Put in all your orders, all of your information. That way, at the beginning of the new week, I know exactly how much demand you have for the rest of that week. Yeah? And I would document all of this. And I would do it for every single part of the business. That's how you scale. And this is a living document. Mine is sitting on my Evernote on my dashboard. So it's a living document. So I know where the weak spots in my business are. And I go, oh, wait, so on marketing, we're really, really great on people. Or we're amazing on process, we're just terrible on people. Okay, so the process works, I just need to find really good people. Make sense? And sometimes it'll be the other way around because the business goes through variations. Sometimes it'll be the other way around, but it's the same dashboard I'm looking at and I'm making decisions about how to scale that business. It's the only way to do it. One last thing about scale is not for everybody, right? Like sometimes it's actually, guys, I probably was the happiest when I was self-employed. It was so nice. It was just me reporting to me. It's cool, like, there's no leave days, there's just none of the stuff you have when you have a firm. There's no lethargy, there's no inertia, there's no so-and-so is fighting with so-and-so, so-and-so's not getting on. It was just me. I used to listen to Redit Labi in the morning, just me. It was cool, right? And that's why many people who say they want to be entrepreneurs actually mean they want to be self-employed. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, the life of a guy who's a real entrepreneur who's scaling that business is actually not quite all that attractive. They don't sleep, those guys. Because the minute you become an entrepreneur and you're managing this, you're managing 1,000 moving pieces at a time. It's 1,000 moving pieces at a time. So every single shop you open, every single branch you open, every single employee you hire, every single new client you onboard, you literally it changes this complexion of your business. So you're never off, even when you're off. You're never on leave, even when you're on leave. You're constantly and consistently thinking about this system. How do I make it better? How do I make it function better? Yeah? Cool. Wow, right? So what an amazing time.
Woo! Man. That was amazing, wasn't it? The video is called The 90-Day Test for Entrepreneurs, by the way, for those who was asking. All right. Anybody have anything they would like to share from today's call? Anything that you would like to share from today's call, man? This is a great way to start off the week, man. I know y'all got something from today. Y'all got something. Press the number 1 if you have anything that you would like to share. Let me see here. All right, let's start with Christian X. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Brother, I have a lot that I wrote down. I wanted to say thank you. I've been speaking to my brother Hakeem, about this, and you had spoke earlier about our Savior has arrived, chapter 24. God helps those who helps themselves. So I'm gonna just keep it short and brief. You said, but the cold weather kills the grasshopper. So we have to make sure that we are not only like taking in information, but we're being intentional with how we move with the information. So something like this, like we had a messenger come, who we believe spoke to God in person, that's Far Muhammad. But also like we could be that grasshopper too. We keep listening to Brother Ben and we don't do anything to prepare for the winter. So I thought that was a very powerful quote that stuck out to me, and that's all I had to share for now, brother. Thank you.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you. Brother Rashad.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Hell is low.
What's up, my brother?
What's going on?
Brother B. I've been sitting back listening to you today. I like to highlight the part where you say how people start getting philosophical when you start talking about business and finance and spirit. But the Quran in the Bible covers finances. So I'm like, They not separated. It talk about your spirit versus the man as it pertains to finances. A fool and his money will soon depart. It's no avoiding it. It's no area that God don't cover. So it ain't, put God down, pick the money up. It's all together, brother.
Yes, sir.
It's all together, man. It just don't be guided by finances. I had went to the masjid over here in Atlanta, man. I hadn't been attending lately though. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I think you already covered it though, Ben, cause I can go back some years and think about you covering that topic on what you just spoke on for the spirituality and finances. But I was in and out. And I heard the part when you were saying, we gotta stop acting like we don't need no money. We need money for everything, man. Now, what we need to pray for is for the development of our minds, for the creativity to come back out and be the front runner so we can come up with these creative ideas to make us self-sufficient, man. And that's what I would pray for. Doing for self is a mentality.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's a state of mind. It covers more than just finances. You can be on the job, but not at the job.
Ooh, that's a bar, that boy. Well, man, shoot.
Brother.
Yes, sir.
You say one thing?
Go ahead.
They be looking at me at work. They be saying, "Y'all ain't Brother Rashad." Yeah, I'm all right. I'm here. I'm not here. They be catching me. Trying to pull it out, man. Put it together when it come to you. You get one of them voila moments.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
It sound like you just sound like you just got out the bed finna get ready for work.
Yeah, man, I gotta be at work at 1.
I can tell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You been talking to the brothers in Atlanta?
Yeah, Brother King Cam on right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he right there. He right there in Atlanta.
Well, King Cam?
Yeah, Brother King Cam. He right there in Atlanta. Shoot, go on, link up with him.
Don't tell me to come back to Dallas. All right. Come back to Dallas. Hey, how the weather been out there, Ben?
Man, since you been gone, weather been good. You know, you be messing up that weather, man.
Well, I was doing some research, and it said since 2024, the average amount of tornadoes that hit Texas is 347, and 1/3 of the year, over 200 have hit Texas, and 1/3 of the year. So right now, Texas is on pace to break a record for tornado activity.
Well, we're going to get on that when we talking about the minister watching the weather. Let me get on to this next person about the video before we get too far off track.
All right, bro.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Daniel.
Brother Daniel.
Yes, brother.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the conversation and the spirit of my great brother. It's a few points. I'll start with the point that comes easiest, the self-improvement and the building of character. And I like the way, dear brother, how you laid it out, where if you have to deal with character issues that can affect your growth in business, then you're going to either not get into it, get it, lose it, or have the opportunity to grow it and not. You know, you're missing things like envy, jealousy, other things coming to my mind like pride. You want to do everything yourself, not because you have to, but because you feel some type of way that you're not doing it. You know, these type of things that can just destroy business, which I agree with you, which is why it's important that we have to self-improve and build our character, because it's all related. I can remember the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan saying that you poor because the mind is rooted in poverty. And he related being poor to a state of mind, you know, and it got to be built simultaneously. The mind and the self-improvement has to be built with the business. Also, when a brother was mentioning how when you taking on tasks in your business, you really learning as you go and you taking on different titles and roles. Not that it has to be done perpetually or continuously, but you learn and you gain experience and you get things done. I thought that's very important point to raise, because when you're building a business, you're gonna have to multitask. You're gonna have to do various roles in that. And the example you laid out where you learn by doing that, you learn things. So now when you hire somebody else to do it, they can't pull the okie doke and pull the wool over your eyes, because you know how long it take. You know how this got done, you know, so that's important. And also I look at that principally speaking. Sometimes when I'm trying to get things done, I'm making prayers and I'm asking Allah how you build your mind and make wealth. How? And I don't get a answer like 1 + 1 is 2. That's how. I get do it and you will figure the how out. I'm not going to tell you nothing because you wouldn't understand anyway. You got to get to work. And in doing the work, you learn the how with hands on. That's what the brother was saying. That's what you were saying. A lot of times we sit back and we waiting, but the how is, yes, study. Yes, read. But the hands on come from putting that work in and doing it, and you learn the how from experience.
Come on.
That's even when you get education. I'm talking to my son. He's going to be a junior in robotics. And I asked him, so what you got hands on? What are you learning in college? He said, I learned how to write speeches at debate. I said, what they got to do with your degree? He started laying out a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, okay, what did you learn in your field? Not much.
Wow.
So the learning comes from doing. That's why a lot of people go to technical schools, because they get more hands-on in these schools of technical activity than they do in just reading a bunch of books. So actually putting the work in and getting the experience is really how one learns how to do what they're trying to do. And the last point, this really hit home for me, was being self-employed and being a business owner. I've been self-employed for a long time. I left the job, wanted to do for self, calling myself an entrepreneur, but I realized I'm self-employed because I'm working. The next steps for me is to take all the experience I have and get willing and happy persons to do that while I manage, and use my skill in that area of janitorial cleaning to get it done, but also use my skill to help it better. So bringing somebody in where I could use my expertise, bring in better contracts where they can make a better ways than I made, learning. You know, make them more satisfied because they're making a better wage in it by my expertise. So I thought those were very important points, and they line right up with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said about we got to do for self or we going to suffer. You know, it goes back to the how you do for self. Get up and start. Stop sitting, stop waiting. Look at what you have and get to moving. Read and study, but while you're doing that, get to work. I got one more point. I'll make it quick. Sometimes in my trial, I'm always looking for the answer outside of self, outside of what I already have. And then yesterday, I had an aha moment. I was looking at some, my personal finance, looking at some of my assets, and it dawned on me, boy, you sitting on a little gold mine. I'm like, damn, what? Oh, I am. So I checked something out and found out that I had an asset that's decent, that's good. But the problem of me looking outward all day, looking, it teaches me you got to look inward first. You got to look at what you have and be faithful over little. Then God will give you much. He'll never give us more, and we're not even using what we got. So it's teaching me, and I learned from things being taken from me. The less you have, the more you think. The less you have, the more you make better use of what you have. And when you learn how to use what you have in its full capacity, when you get more, you're going to be cold. So, excuse my vernacular. I'm just trying to keep it simple and plain. So those are some of the points. I appreciate it, Brother Ben.
Wow. Ooh, the less you have, the more you think. Man, boy, Allah is the best of planners. I want to share something. You said something about the mind. Brother Nuri shared with us that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the reason our people live in the slums is because the slums lives in their mind. Ooh, that was a cold one. He said that. This is back in 2000. He said all the time, but yeah, I heard him back in 2017 area. Our people live in the slum because the slum lives in their mind. And you also made a great point about just doing it. You're trying to read all the books. You're trying to go to all the classes. You're trying to go to all the conferences to build a business when you can't skip the process anyway. Because even when you, in other words, even when you read it and they tell you do this when you're hiring, do this, you still don't have the insight, the experience that you need to duplicate yourself. That's what's cold. You can't, it's like self-improvement. You can't skip self-improvement. If you come into a whole bunch of money, that still won't change your life. If you skip the self-improvement of knowing what to do with it, if you skip the self-improvement of having the right mindset, because money only going to magnify who you really are. Like for me hiring, right? I had to learn. Hey, Brother Ben, when you hiring, you asking the wrong questions. This is what I used to do. So take this from me. I used to say, can you make a funnel? What they gonna say? Yeah. Do you know how to do the automation to where if you do this and they do that? Oh, yeah. Do you know? And in my mind, I'm interviewing. Boy, you giving them alley-oops, boy. So I changed it to, hey, if you was in a scenario where you had to fix the conversion rate, what would you do to increase it? And then I'm listening for the insight. See, because I know the purpose of the funnel. I know the purpose of certain things. So instead of me saying, can you do it? Of course, they're going to say, yeah. I'm asking scenario based because you can't Google that. Then I caught one of me and Sean. We laughed about this for a while. We would ask a question. So check this out. I learned this. The VA VA means virtual assistant, by the way. The VA was Googling the answer. I could hear her typing, and she would say, "What did you say? I can barely my Wi-Fi." She would buying herself time. Can you repeat that? What was you saying? So she's typing the answer, trying to get us to repeat ourselves. But when you ask certain questions, hey, so what is this? You can easily Google that. But when you ask scenario-based questions, they can't Google that. They got to really have experience to answer your question. That's something that I learned, like ask scenario-based. How would they do this? Tell me about a time when you fixed this. If what they say lack details, no, they just rambling, they capping. They new at this. See? Then I learned when I'm going Upwork. Upwork.com is where you can find freelancers. This is where you can find VAs, right? I learned stop saying everything that you need in just the description, because what they're doing is they use AI to respond to you. So you will notice you may say, hey, I need somebody who can do a funnel. I need somebody that can fix my graphics. I need somebody that can do a flyer. They're going to say, hey, nice to meet you. We specialize in doing funnels, graphics, and flyers. And they're going to just basically reiterate what you just said, because all they're doing is having the AI analyze. They got some way the reason I noticed this is because all of them started to sound the same. I'm like, how all y'all basically reiterating what I just said? Yeah, this is AI. And I can tell when they using certain words that, yeah, AI wrote that. So what I did was I started to put the criteria of what I needed on a Google document, because AI can't open up the Google document. You have to open up the Google document. That's number one. That's the first layer that I put in place. Then I said, make me a video and send it to me. Yeah. Now I want to hear you, because now I want to. So what I want to do was, if you overseas, Philippines, Haiti, all that good stuff, I may have a hard time hearing them, because they're in another country. So I need to communicate based on what they're doing with somebody that I can hear. So I said, submit a video responding to this proposal. Now that eliminated a whole bunch of people. Now they can't use AI. Now I'm seeing them on video. I can tell if they reading or not. You see what I'm saying? But I learned that from hiring people, thinking that, oh yeah, this is great. Because then you may have 60 people saying the same thing. All of them sound good. But all of them just use AI to respond to you. So, but I learned that saves me so much time going through all these people to find the right person. But I learned that through experience. Anyways, all right, let's go to Sister Yolanda.
Rich Rising family. As I ponder in my thoughts what I just listened to with the videos, one thing that stuck out to me was, I'm paraphrasing, in your growth process, you cannot skip a step, must go through it. And then I wrote, look within. So as I was on a call yesterday, there's a book by Al-Nisa Muhammad, and she has an acronym, SOS, Surrender, Obey, Seek. So I combined the SOS with my SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. And as I strive to continue to build on my growth and development via the calls, via Friday night study groups, and whatever lectures that I listen to amongst all the books, and applying what I'm learning, I don't care if I listen to it 100 times, as it was mentioned, everything is spiritual. So as I'm listening to commentary and you, Brother Ben, and the gentleman that you had the video playing, the song came to my mind by Tamala Mann, Changing Me. And the gentleman also mentioned that we could be amazing on the process and terrible with the people. So I asked to create in me a clean heart so that I may serve the people, whether I be in business, whether I be still on this plantation trying to, make my way to Stillaway, so that I can go through the steps of becoming an entrepreneur into a business woman, so on and so forth. So I continue to strive daily to work on myself before I can open myself up to a more wider variety of people. Because if I don't follow the steps and go through the steps, and I'm going to continue to go through steps even as I grow until Allah sees fit to call me to return. It's a journey. It's a life journey. What I'm gathering here today and throughout the study groups and lectures, it never stops. So as I continue to scrub away and ask Allah to create in me a clean heart, which also will affect my thoughts, praying and fasting, cleansing, whatever process I strive to continue to go through, everything you say and the lectures that you bring before us, all of these processes play a part. So if I skip a step, let me go back from where I left off at the the last step and go through the next step completely, which is going to take time. So with all the influences that we have out here via social media, via YouTube and whatever else is out there, because I'm not big on this internet. I hate it, but it has its advantages. I'm not looking to get rich overnight. I don't know if it's such thing as getting rich overnight. Everybody want to say they have a business, as you mentioned as well. We have a hustle. But in that SOS, surrendering, being transparent with the God, let me stop deceiving myself and my thoughts, saying that I have a business and it's really a side hustle. And if I want to develop a business, let me go through the proper steps, one step at a time. Brother Ben is doing magnificent. Go ahead, nephew. High five. I'm giving you a virtual high five. You doing your thing, but you build. You went through the lessons. You got the lessons out of whatever trials you went through, out of whatever obstacles that may have come your way. You continue to build. You didn't sit there and say, woe is me. How I'm building, I'm not going to come out looking like Brother Ben. He's been doing it longer than myself. I may have a whole different business setup. Or I did. Nevertheless, taking my SOPs, using my SOS, striving, praying, fasting, learning, listening, writing down my vision, making it plain, writing down my steps, Allah will grant me the victory. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Sister Dr. K.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you all hear me? Because I'm in my car driving. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen. I was listening and moving. There were a lot of things I wanted to write down. Didn't get a chance to write them down, but just a couple things. I love Brother Ben. First of all, I just love Brother Ben, how you just so transparent, man. Like how you allow yourself to be seen and everything that you're going through and how you're doing it. I think that's just so important for people to, because, it's more about for me, it's more about what you do than what a person says. You can say it all day long. That doesn't do anything for me. Well, I mean, it does, but seeing it is just so much more real. And I just appreciate how you allow yourself to just be, you're just so authentic and you allow yourself to just be seen. Because that takes a lot now. That's not easy. That's not easy to do. So you letting us see your ups, your downs, it's just so important. So I just really wanted to tell you, I appreciate how you allow us to see that, because I think that's really so much more important than just what you say, And then the other thing you were saying about like the process, like so many times I'll say to myself, man, I think I'm being patient, man. Like I'm being patient. I'm not trying to rush the process, but sometimes we think we're being patient and we're really not being patient, right? Because patience is not just being still. Patience is being still. It's more than just being still. It's more than that. And so I think sometimes when I think I'm being patient and I'm waiting and I'm being, I'm listening to Allah, clearly I'm not. And basically, I think that's what Allah is really trying to tell me personally. Like, yeah, you think you're being patient, but yeah, you really not being patient. So I'm going to just make you sit here and keep sitting here until you understand what patience really is. So that was the other thing, and about going through the process. And I know sometimes for me, myself, I don't know, like, when I think of the process, I always think about the time that I've already, I'll just say used, you know what I mean? Because, when you get to a certain age, in your mind, you're thinking like, oh, I done did I don't want to say wasted, but all this time has passed in my life and I probably did some things or made some choices that if I had known what I know now, I would have done it different back then. And sometimes I look at my age and I look at my desires and I'm like, oh man, like, do you know how long that's going to take? So sometimes, like when we're talking about things when it comes to business and I'm listening to people who are younger than me, in my head, I'm like, oh, but you got some, you got time, you got still more time ahead of you than I might, which is not necessarily true, but I'm just saying sometimes I think about that. So when I think about my desires and my goals, I'm like, ooh, how long is it going to take for me to get there? So that's the other thing about being patient and going through the process. And the other thing that was so interesting to me is when the brother broke down being self-employed, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, right? Because really, like for me, I have to go back and reevaluate some things because I have to really understand what is it that I am and what is it that I'm striving to be. Self-employed, an entrepreneur, or business owner. And I think it's important because it's okay if you are self-employed and you don't want to do the business. It's okay. And I'm just use an example. So like me and my husband, all right, I'm going to learn to be transparent like you, Brother B, sometimes. I think people can learn from each other. So me and my husband, we have a business. Now, my husband, he started out, he drives trucks, and he's been driving trucks for over 30 years, right? And so sometimes we come into a little battle because, okay, 5 years ago, when I decided to walk away from the educational system because I knew, again, it wasn't for me, I started to kind of look at trucking. Now, for a long time, whenever I thought about trucking, most people people around me would be like, you don't want to be, you don't want being a truck driver, that means your husband is gone away from for a long time and they ain't at the house. And they would speak negative about it a little bit. Like when it comes to my children, they would kind of be like, well, you don't want to be a truck driver because, that's hard when you're married, all these things, right? But when I came away 5 years ago, I started to research the trucking industry and what it is and just where it's going. And so I decided to invest into my husband's, his desire, right? But not just because I wanted to invest in his, because I saw the benefit in it, right? And I saw the need. And I saw where it was going, right? So here's where the issue comes. So now for me, when I go into it and I'm thinking about it probably more on a business end, right? Like the business part. Whereas my husband, he's not. He wants to be self-employed. And so sometimes we would battle because when I would talk to him about the business, learning this, and because everything that I do, I'm doing it with the business in mind. So as I'm getting educated,
No. Oh, I thought she got. Oh, you just muted.
Sound went out.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, can you hear me, Brother Ben?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I started looking at it like, okay, I'm going to go through all these steps and learn about all these things when it comes to the trucking industry because I want to build business. And then now my children are like, ooh, I want to get into it. So my son is now researching because in his head, he's thinking, oh man, mommy, I'm going to take this to another level. I'm going to bring in this with the business, all of these things. But sometimes we would come to a crossroads with my husband. It would kind of turn into somewhat of a battle because we would feel like his energy really wasn't there and he didn't want to do it. Whereas he would be like, he didn't know how to communicate it or him communicating it. And I'm looking at it now like this because of what I'm learning is he simply may just want to be self-employed. So when it comes to the business aspect and you talking this language to him, he's like, yeah, no, it becomes kind of he gets kind of I don't even know the words to say it, but it's like he gets, it becomes almost like an argument in a sense, but not an argument. I'm saying argument because of lack of a better word. I don't know how to explain. But he feels pressured, right? He feels pressured. And then he begins to question himself like, well, I do want the trucking, But he may not want the business piece. He may not want to be an entrepreneur. He may want to just enjoy being self-employed, enjoy having his own truck, enjoy driving his truck and being in charge and no one telling him what to do. But because we don't understand our place, maybe we don't understand each of our desires. And again, I'm probably saying I'm all over the place because as I'm just thinking. But, you know, I think for me being able to look at that and see what it means to be self-employed, what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it means to be a business owner, helps me helps me as we're developing and as we're building, it helps me to be able to see it differently and to understand my husband, right? It helps me because I think a lot of times we've had some controversy or some issues because I can humbly say that I was probably trying to force him into something that maybe that is not what that's not the part he's supposed to play. That's not his role. And so I think with us, it's important to understand your role and it's important to be okay with your role. It's important to be like, it's okay to just be self-employed. That's okay. It's okay to be an entrepreneur. That's okay also. And it's also okay to be a business owner. Don't try to be something because you see somebody else doing it if that's not what's meant for you to do. You understand? So anyway, I definitely want to go back and listen to it. It was just it was great. So anyway, thank you.
Praise be to Allah. Walaikum salam. You know, that just reminds me is that we have to reverse engineer what we want. That's what everything starts with. What do you want? When you think about Think and Grow Rich and all those type of things, they ask you, what do you want? Write it down. And I always say, you know, we have to have a spiritual GPS. Once you know what you want, then that's where you get direction. If I'm going to a place I never been to before, I'm most likely going to use a GPS. Nobody's going to give me instructions if I don't know where I'm going. I can be driving down the street and stop at the gas station, roll my window down. Hey, brother, how do I get to whatchamacallit? How do I get to, what's the name? They're going to be like, what? Because I can't give you directions. A coach can't give you direction if you don't know where you want to go. Siri, smart as Siri is, know where traffic is, know when there's a wreck, cannot tell you the directions unless you put the destination in. So when we say, hey, well, man, hey, I want to make $100,000 a year. I want to make $100,000 a month. And you look at what you're doing. Islam is mathematics. Me working, trading my time for money, doing what I'm doing, will I ever get there? Most likely not. Unless I'm doing something for myself where I am literally charging high ticket, super high ticket. Maybe, you know, if I want to be a multi-millionaire, am I going to get there just doing what I'm doing right here at this level? So we got to ask ourselves, okay, what do I want? And does what I want to do line up with what I want? Because I may say I want $1 million a month, but then I just want to be self-employed. Well, that may not make sense. It may not add up with the knowledge that you have or the resources you have. You may find a way, but it's less likely. I may have to grow into an entrepreneur or even grow into a business owner to get there. But I don't never know unless I know what I even want. Now, if I just want $5,000 a month, man, a business, man, I ain't finna be doing all that managing and SOPs. And man, I just want $5,000 a month, bro. I'm good. You straight. You may get that as an employee. You straight. But if you got bigger aspirations and bigger things you want to do, now we got to look at, okay, what do I need to become to do that? So that's a great point, Sister Dr. K. Some people are okay with just paying the bills. Everybody don't need $10,000 a month. Everybody don't need that. Everybody expenses is not that high. In reality, look, y'all, if my assets that I got coming in, meaning money coming in from an asset outside of myself, whether if that's from real estate or business, something else, whatever. If I'm bringing in more than my expenses, I'm technically financially free. I know everybody want to make $100,000 a month, $1 million, all that. That's great. Praise be to Allah. But if my expenses are $2,500, but my assets bring in $3,500, technically I'm financially free. Now, if my expenses is $10,000 a month, okay, yeah, my income need to be more, but everybody don't have high expenses. Everybody don't want a nice car. Everybody don't want a nice home. Some people cool with just I just need me a little 1-bedroom, bro. I'm straight. Everybody not the same. So once we get more self-aware of who we are, what we want, then we can reverse engineer and say, okay, well, I'm finna have to do X, Y, and Z. I'm finna have to learn and move like X, Y, and Z because this is the result that I want. Okay? So that's a great point of just being self-aware because some people, they don't want a lot, right? Not to say that he didn't want a lot. I'm just saying, some people are cool with, man, I ain't trying to be no multi-billionaire, bro. I'm straight. And they are straight. They fine. So once you determine what you are and what you want, that will help you out tremendously for your peace. Let's go to Brother Nurse Earl.
Yes, sir. Peace, brother. Assalamu
alaikum.
Just want to say thank you for all the knowledge, information, all the feedback from the Mighty Power Call. For myself, and I probably related to you before, I have a program which is pretty much done. But the funny thing is, like I have 2 folders, right? I have one for like Black nurses, and then the other folder is just for nurses. So I keep researching, with the Chat GPT as far as scaling, like with this whole how we just listened to just now.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get some feedback on that because it's saying like even if you say with Black nurses, the numbers are say like 300,000 out of 5 million, but you can have a greater impact. That's your people and things like that. So I'm just really kind of debating because once I go down that street, it's a one way. It's gonna be 100 miles per hour this way, or it's gonna be 100 miles per hour this way. But it's saying also with Chat GPT is saying you can have something for nurses, but you can still have Black nurses support that. So and it's funny. And I just saw this thing with Nia Long. She was saying, stop calling your nurses. She said stop calling your businesses Black business this, or, Black gas, just name it like Metro Gas, or just like with this video, he was saying that the young brother was selling shoes. He didn't call, these are my Black shoes, so that's kind of like where I'm looking at, okay, do I go this route or do I go this route? But I just wanted to get some feedback because I noticed even with the nation, it's not like the Black Muslims, it's the Muslims, right? It's not the Black Nation of Islam, it's the Nation of Islam, and then like the ministers, he has these tools that's universal, that just presented to us first, but it's really a universal for the world.
Mm-hmm.
So when making these tools, this thing I have is like I wrote the SOPs, I got everything, I got the institutions I'm looking at, the doctor's offices I'm looking at, but depending on the route you go, it's gonna make a difference. So I just want to get some feedback on that.
So what I would say is, I agree that you don't have to put Black. If you offer it to nurses, Black nurses will, I'm sure, be a part of it. So this is what my determining factor would be. Because the more specific you are, the more you can make. But is your course specific to Black people? So this is what I mean by that. If Black nurses have a different, and you can prove it scientifically, a different reaction or a different type of problem than any other nurse, and you are solving specifically the reaction that only Black nurses have, then yes, because that makes it that much more specific versus general.
Right.
For example, I could say, hey, I have a course for coaches. I can get a lot, I can still make a lot of money with coaches. But if I say tax professional coaches because I have a specific SOP for tax professionals. I have a specific sales script for only tax professionals. Then I will go straight to tax professional because that's more specific. It's easy for them to duplicate. It's more turnkey for them, and they're willing to pay more because I'm more specific for their exact business. So if you don't have that for your business, and let's say, for example, you're covering burnout, and the same burnout that black people have is the same burnout that white people have, just call it nurses. That's fine. But if you like, man, I've been studying this, and black people scientifically have a different type of burnout, they got a different type of reaction, then you're more tailored and that could work. But if not, I would just say nurses, like nurses burn out, if that's what you're talking about. Nurses, nurses, and then black people will be a part of it. Because at the end of the day, even when we look at the teachings, black is universal, not even national. So he wants us to make and even turn the teachings and have the teachings universal. That's when we know we really understand it, when we can talk about it and explain it to anybody. So I would think that would give you a greater market as well, and it wouldn't hurt if you saying nurses who suffer with burnout versus black. So again, my determining factor is my curriculum specifically based on something that only black people have a different reaction than others. If not, I would stay general with just nurses.
Got it. No, that was very helpful because I'm like, I get stuck, right? I'm like 50-50. But no, that makes a lot of sense. So because I'm working on something now and I'm gonna show you in class later today. So I'm gonna get busy. So no, that was helpful.
Yes, sir. All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you, brother. All right, yes, sir.
Sister Randisha.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, assalamu
alaikum.
A few things that stood out to me, but as you was reading, I thought about Lazarus, right? So I went and hold on one second. So I went to the final call, right? And black men do for self or suffer the consequences. And this was January 25th, 2022. And it says, Lazarus was at the rich man's gate, begging for the crumbs from the rich man's table. The rich man, however, showed no mercy and sent the dogs out to bite Lazarus. However, instead of biting Lazarus, the dog had compassion and licked his wounds. The scene changes, and Lazarus is now seen in the bosom of Abraham, while the rich man dies and is in hell, lifting up his eyes, calling out to Lazarus to come and drop some cool water on his parching tongue. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that this illustrates the condition of the black man of America lying at the gate of white America, begging America to do for us what we have the ability to get up, unite, and do for ourselves. Now, the rich man, America, is in hell, and the black man has a chance to get into the bosom of Abraham, which means to be hidden in the friendship and protection of God. If we will recognize the time, get up and do something for ourselves, God will aid us. He will bless our land, our crops, and whatever we do. If we will do it for ourselves, the world will then take notice and marvel and say, this is a people that were dead, but they are now alive. Look at them. They are now doing something for self. So when I thought about that, I'd be having so many quotes and so many things to say, but then when it comes time, I was thinking about, as I was watching Notorious, I believe it was last night or the night before, and I was thinking about when P. Diddy and Biggie was having a conversation. And and Puffy was asking Big, how hungry are you? And he said, Puffy, I don't know about going into the jungle with a chinchilla, but if you throw me out in the jungle, I'll have all of them, dancing or whatever. So that means that he was real hungry because no matter his situation or his circumstances, that he was going to go into whatever environment and adapt and make them become adaptable. And then also, I always listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's song. a white man's heaven is a black man's hell. And those lyrics are always, always so important because as we are taught and as the minister continue to say is that heaven and hell are two conditions of our state of mind and our state of being. And we can live either in heaven, we can make a heaven for ourselves, or we continue to make a hell for ourselves. So we have to choose where we want to be. So those were just a few things that stood out to me. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Praise be to Allah. Quick commercial break. Those of you all who are interested in, well, let me first say this to give you guys context of what digital real estate is, because some people still don't know. What I was doing with digital real estate is, you know, in real estate, you can invest in it, you can get paid passively from your property. So I said, well, I got over 2,000 properties online. At that time, it was videos. So what digital real estate does, it kind of helps you become an entrepreneur without you knowing, because as he said, you either put together a process, a person, or a system. I was showing you guys how to duplicate yourself with technology. So instead of me sending out the email, there's an automated email that goes out. Instead of me sending out the text message, there's an automated text message. Instead of me being on all the sales calls, there's a sales funnel that they go in, they get the same information that I would be doing, versus it being me teaching somebody one by one. I'm showing you how to, okay, you can do this with videos, and you can scale out videos and put together the step-by-step process and sell it to where if I'm working or not, somebody can get the product. So that's what I was developing and what I'm teaching you guys in digital real estate. Not, you know, we may not have gotten to the point yet where you're hiring, but you're replacing yourself with technology. So technically, you still are that person who's able to take 3 months off, and your program can continue to sell, and you can still deliver, and it can deliver without you having to manually do it. So with that being said, if that's something you guys are interested in, learning how to create a digital product that attract buyers, click the link there. I do have a free ebook that you guys can go to. So if you guys go to that website that I just put inside of the comment section, that's like my little link, if you will, click the one that says the 3-step guide to creating a digital product that attract buyers. Read that. Make sure you check your emails that follow up with that as well, because I put together a series of emails that teaches you guys the mindset and what you guys need to do to create the right type of offer, to market it, to attract people to buy. So make sure you check your spam. Respond got it, so it doesn't continue to show up in your spam folder. But that ebook right there, man, is going to get a lot of y'all right, so you can understand marketing, understand how to create a product, understand what gets people to move and buy. And then also I have a series of emails that come behind that are valuable as well. So make sure y'all click that link that I just put in the chat for you guys. Hit that link that's at the front, the top, which says the three-step guide. Download that. Is free. And y'all let me know y'all feedback after y'all read it. Next, let's go to Brother Daniel.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, brother. The comments preceding were very powerful. Our sister's comment when she read about Lazarus and choosing, that further my thought on what I was going to say. And I was going to talk about the submission, obedience, or following strategic plans that make for success. A lot of times, I found in my own life that a lot of mistakes are made, a lot of unnecessary turns, getting off the road. Like you said, you put in a destination, and you get in a step-by-step Google instructions, but then I take a wrong turn on purpose. I get off course on purpose, and then we know when you follow the GPS, every time you get off course, the GPS got to continue to reset itself to get you back on course. So I'm learning that a teacher can bring all the good stuff and can show you that they're successful in what they do. But when I am, as a student, just want to do it my own way, not embellish and do what I'm being instructed, but doing it in a way where it works good for me, but literally doing what I want to do, there's nothing that the teacher can do about it. I'm going to have to learn and suffer from my own rebellion, doing it the way I want. And then eventually I come right back to the teacher and say, okay, now I'm ready to do it the right way. And what I'm learning with the Creator Allah is that when we do that, He allows us to take those detours But the consequences of that, we have slowed down so much where he have forced us into a corner where we have no choice but to do it the right way. Now we have set ourselves back a little bit from that. But in that state, one can learn how to follow the program and stratagem of a good teacher to actually emulate and do that which the teacher is trying to get us to do. So I would say that there's no quick fix pill for doing what you want to do, or what we call being like Columbus, trying to find a quicker route and all that. The only way we're gonna get out of that is making mistakes and never to hit the destination we're trying to hit. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Brother Charles. Brother Charles, are you there? Okay. We're going to end off with Brother Rashad.
Hey, brother, man. Somebody has said something that struck a nerve that I wasn't able to talk to you about. You know, recently when I was hitting you on Instagram, I was telling you about my mama passing, and I know like a month or two before that, your mother had passed. And I wanted to just commend you, young brother, on the strength and the spiritual fortitude that you displayed with being able to come on this podcast, pour your spirit out and pour yourself out for people while you was going through something personally, because me putting myself in your shoes, I wasn't able to do that. And I just want you to just wanted to give you your flowers and wanted to mention that to you, brother Ben, and tell you to just stay encouraged, brother. I really see a lot of strength in you, young brother.
Man, praise be to Allah. Thank you for sharing that.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir. The minister says something. Well, I'll share that at a later time. But thank you. Brother Charles, are you able to come off mute? Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, sir. I was just chiming in just to comment the fact that I like the information. You know, it tells you a whole lot about. Well, some of the things that I picked up on was just where you're trying to go and where you've actually been. So, and saying that, what you don't want to go back.
Are you on Bluetooth?
I am actually on walking in the park.
Yeah, Bluetooth don't really do good with Zoom, so we can barely hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, sir, a lot better.
Good deal. All I was saying was that, I really appreciate you constantly sending the videos to me. And, I see I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I commend you for the hard work, and the perseverance, things of that nature. And I'm just learning a lot, And I would like to continue. Steps on guidance, life, and business partnerships and things of that nature. I believe in, a lot of the things that are being said. And appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing that. I want to close with this. I was talking to Sister Courtney yesterday, and we were sitting in the building that we have, and it's nothing in it. Right now, we're waiting on permits to get back from the city. We look up and the ceiling needs to be fixed. The floors hasn't been cleaned, obviously, because they've been doing construction. Walls is being torn down. They gutted out the building, and it's like we're just sitting in it. And God has us in a place in many areas of our lives where we just have to be patient. And I think it's key to share this as entrepreneurs, because sometimes, many times at the end of the month, man, sometimes I don't know how them bills gonna get paid. And I'm sharing this because it's not that money hasn't been made. I have an account with some money in it, but it's just on pause. We should be getting access to it, God willing, in a few months. But it's like there are several things that it's like, man, you want it now. You may think you need it now. And like he does, I mean, he gets you just by when you thought you wasn't going to make it. Just by. And then it's like you ain't got nothing. You just got to sit there and wait. So when we look at the building, it's like, man, we got it. We know what's coming. We know we're going to be building, but we just got to wait. You just got to wait. So there's a mindset of trusting God, man, in the process. Through whatever you're going through, you got to trust that he's doing it for a reason. You have to trust that it's on the way. So while it's coming, let me just build my faith. Let me build myself. Let me get these things in order so when it comes, I'm prepared for what I know is coming. So sometimes you being in a state of waiting, forced to wait, forced to be quiet, forced to just go inward is the best thing for you to do in the process. Because there's so many things, man, I'm used to. Like I said the other day on my Instagram, I like doing stuff. If I got an idea, I want to do it right now. If I want to say something, I want to say it right now. But I'm being forced to learn to wait for the proper time. And sometimes we break during those times of the waiting period. The minister at one point said, I'm pregnant. I got to go. I'm not pregnant in the gay way, but pregnant meaning that I'm pregnant with an idea. And I'm not saying anything right now. I'm not revealing anything right now. I'm not speaking right now. And so when you have things that you want to do, you got things you want to say, sometimes entrepreneurship is knowing when to move and when to just hear from God to get the lessons that you're supposed to get in that process. You know, it's understanding that, hey man, things are going wrong, appears to be, but this is a setup for your step up. I had to rhyme that one. This is just a setup for your step up. And a good story, son, you have to have a antagonist. In order for a good story, son, you have to have a level of controversy. Then you have your climax. So these are levels to the story that I'm developing. Don't mess up your story. Yeah, man. So just wherever you are, if you dealing with something in your, I believe and I got a video that said 3.2 million views right now on Instagram. So obviously other entrepreneurs can bear witness. Business is one of the most spiritual things I believe one could do because it tests our faith so much. You got to communicate with the God daily. You dealing with different spirits, different people on a daily. So you got to, seek refuge in Allah. You got to be in prayer. You got to you got to forgive. You got to overlook. You got to overlook you got to turn the other cheek. Like it's so many things that you got to do within business, man. I mean, Lord, deal with customer service, deal with bad reviews, deal with how do you handle the good reviews, dealing with employees, dealing with their personal problems. It's so much. It makes you such a more spiritual person, I believe. So we was sitting there and we was like, man, she was like, the building is a representation of where we are. We can see it, we got it, but it's not there yet. It's like, you're in a waiting period. You're in a waiting period. You know, the building it's not how you want it to be, but it's a building. It ain't where it ain't operating yet, but it's on the way. Wait. Then we kind of in limbo where we don't know when they going to hit us back. We don't know the approval process. We don't know how long. So sometimes you don't know how long God going to take. But can you remain patient and know that he going to be right on time? Man, it's deep what I'm learning, man. So I just want you guys to just get it, man. I want you guys to get it, because I ain't had no, you have people that tell you certain stuff going to happen, but they don't, it's kind of, they don't tell you how it's going to be in the moment. Like there's something I want to address right now. I'm talking about I just wanted to, as soon as I heard, I wanted to address, but I'm like, nope, just wait. Those who know, those who know you could say, no, that don't sound right. But then some of them may say, damn, but then they be in the real, but I got to wait. I got to wait months to say something. I'm not used to doing, I'm used to, man, I'm coming with the receipt, but nope, I can't. Not right now. Oh, it's coming though. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. But it's just, man, those times you just have to believe in what I'm learning. Trust in God to know. Trust in God alone. Not man, woman. The man is God, but y'all know what I mean. Lord, develop. But you got to be so secure in yourself sometimes, because you're going to have a dream in a business, man, that your wife, your husband, your mama, your daddy, they might not be in support of. Your cousin, your best friend, they may not be in support of. What do you do when God only revealed the vision to you? What do you do? How do you keep going? How do you keep going? How do you keep going when there's information that said, man, if you don't stop texting me back and back, man, I be telling this brother, man, hold on. But how do you wait and be patient when you have something that you could share that you don't want to share for a bigger picture? Man, that's deep, man. That's business. That's partnerships. Man, this is deep stuff, man. I'm telling y'all, man. I wish I can go deeper into what I want to tell y'all, man. But I'm just saying patience, man. Patience is what I'm learning. Patience. But it's good too, though, because it reveals those around you. It's a good thing. It purges too. Right? So when Job was going through what he was going through, he learned that his wife said, won't you just curse God and die? So when I read that, I said, oh, I needed that. I needed to see that. Job, his wife, somebody close to him said, why don't you just curse God and die? He said, you foolish woman. So it reveals you wouldn't be able to know, man, those who say, I love you. Oh, I love you, brother. Oh, pray these. You won't know unless God puts you in a situation and say, I'm gonna put you there for a little bit. I'll vindicate you later, but I want to reveal something to you, sister. Look at those around you. You thought they loved you, but watch this. Throw that out there. You thought he loved, oh, but let me let that go out there. I know it ain't true, but let me see if they change. So it's good so that when God blesses you with the business idea, when God blesses you with whatever in the future, you don't feel bad when, some people not on the boat with you. So, yeah, man, it's just a lot. Patience, man, is what the season I'm in is patience. Patience, just wait. Hold on. That's what it is hold on. Hold on. Just hold on to the rope. Hold on to the rope of Allah. Hold on to the rope now. Oh, it's finna get shaky now. Oh, we gonna shake it up now. Oh, this boat gonna be kind of hard to balance. But if you just hold on, you may fall a bit. Oh, get back up. Hold on to it, man. Because in the end, that's what makes it that much better. I can say this part. For example, with the past program, I'm not going to name the program. With a past program that I co-founded a couple years ago, I waited for years to say what I could have been said. And some people who were students knew already because they was in the program. But I sat and watched lies for years, slander for years. Look at that. Damn. But do you know how much money but sometimes it's not time to say things. You gotta learn how to say it, and you gotta, you're not a how can I say? You're not a regular influencer, so you can't just go, because you know how to go viral today. How to go viral is have some messy news. Oh, you got some news and you doing this and you this nigga did this and then you going in like Cat Williams did on Shannon Sharp. Oh, you see how many views he got on that? So you know what could go viral, but then you like, nah, that ain't me. So then, but then how do you? Then you have to say it but then you have to, you can't sometimes you got to hurl truth at falsehood, but then you got to know when to do it, how to do it. So it's all a learning. It's a learning process. And I'm saying this. Why am I saying this? Because people don't say this what comes with doing business. But when you study big white company, they go through the same thing. Partner did this, or this happened, or this business went down, or that. They, So it's not like it's a black thing. Damn, other company be going through the same thing. It's like, why nobody said that? They just say, get your LLC, get you come together, your skill set higher, manage. Man, how do you deal with the spiritual side, the personal side, the attacks? The reputation. All I can say is document, y'all. Document. Now, good thing is, I'm a document now. So document. That's all I can say. Document. Now, you may not know when you can show it, when you can say it. But at least you got the document. At least you got the documentation. So document. Because it's all a story. If we start looking at life like a story, man, this bad thing happened. Golly. It's just a part of the story. That's chapter 2. But you got 9 chapters. You got 10 chapters. That happened in chapter 2 so that chapter 8 can be off the chain. That happened in chapter 1 so that chapter can be off the chain. So when I hear people say strength, man, your strength. Allah's reminded me, Brother Ben, if they didn't see you fall, if they didn't see this, that wouldn't look like strength. It would look like luck, or not luck, but prosperity, or, it's perfect. No. The way that you test if a brother or sister is strong is you put weight on the side. You put pressure on the side, right? The way that you inspired by a bodybuilder as he goes, oh, damn, I couldn't do it. But then he comes back 2 weeks later and he goes, that's all you. That's all you. Boom. He got it. But I seen you 2 weeks ago, you didn't have it. Damn, you got stronger. So it's the weight. It's the problems. It's the controversy that makes you strong. Don't run away from that. Something else that I needed to hear and that I heard when Vusi, his name is Vusi, by the way, who we watched today. His name is Vusi, V-U-S-I. He said, everybody I know, they get it wrong the first time. Scaling, they get it wrong. Unless they had a lot of money that they was able to invest, but then they end up scaling too fast and end up coming back down anyway because they didn't go through the process of failing. They didn't go through the process of having to learn. He said, we all get it wrong. You look at $1 million companies, multi-million dollar companies that had to go bankrupt, CEOs that had to go bankrupt. It's a part of the process. So strength, patience comes from a trial. If God wants to make you patient, he will allow something, but put you in a position where you can't say nothing. I'm growing you to be patient. If I want you to grow in patience, sister, I'm going to delay gratification. If I want you to gain patience, I'm going to have you work and work and work and work, and then you can't reap the benefit of your work until later. That grows you in patience. If I want you to be strong, I'm going to cause you to feel some pain. When you lifting weights, brother, don't you feel pain? Oh, woo, my back, oh, my bicep, my tricep, ooh. You wake up in the morning and we what? We feel the pain in the legs. We feel the pain in our back. But you know that's a sign that the workout was pretty good because I feel the pain. So you gain the strength. You become stronger by going through pressure, pain, failure. And I say failure because it may be failure only in our eyes, but it's not a failure in God's eyes. That's a part of the lesson. That was a part of the process anyway. So-called failure. Because that prepared you, what appeared to be failure, that prepared you for something bigger that's going to later cover all those things. What you thought was a failure, you're going to get all that back. If you be patient like Job, who eventually got everything back 2 times fold. He had 7,000, now he got 14,000. So I just feel like this is all a part of business, man. What you guys have seen, oh, I'm transparent, I share this, I share that. I share that because I believe that's really a part of growing, man. Everything not going to always be like this here. That's fake. Man, that's fake. Anybody online, everything, they making $1 million a month, $100,000 a month. They never had to get a loan. They never had to sell nothing. They never had to fire somebody, hire somebody. They never made a mistake. They never messed up. They never misjudged something. They never, dang, I got into it, what I do. Oh, come on, man. Man, who are you? Jesus Christ? Who are you? You the third coming? Come on, man. If you telling me that I thought about this one day as I started thinking about trading. Man, when you trading, these are $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion companies. They stock is doing this every day. Damn. So you telling me $1 trillion? They got trillions of dollars to hire the best of the best. They got systems that we ain't even thought of, and they business do this here. And you mean to tell me, you on Instagram and you only thing you show is this here? Man, please. They just don't show when they fail. They just don't show when they didn't know what to do next. They just didn't show. So don't be looking at Instagram being depressed because they got another car. They got another Rolex. They got another this. They got another that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Get real. This is a part of entrepreneurship because you'll get online and you'll start to compare yourself to something that's not even reality. Listen, they showing Stripe accounts. Yeah, they made that amount of money in 2019. Come on, man. I can see. I know when I can tell when something done been screenshotted 9 times, brother. You showing that damn screenshot from 2019. Now, did you make the money? Yes. But you got people thinking you just made that last month. Come on, man. That was 5 years ago, dude. But the perception is, oh, I'm steady rocking and rolling, $1 million. Come on, man. It ain't, come on. So why do I share? Man, I got less than $3,000 in my bank account. And I'm selling my Rolex. And I'm documenting, I'm selling my car that I bought. Yep. Because there's going to come a time when you get it all back. Because that's the real process that a lot of them go through. You seen them with the watch, then the watch kind of fades away. They ain't going to tell you, yeah, man, took a big hit, bro. Whoo, had to sell it. Ain't that a part of what you did to be successful? That's a part of what you did. You had to sell an asset that you had. Why you leave that part out? But because if you tell me everything is perfect and all I got to do is this, but then you leave this part out about how to adjust when things get bad, you're not giving me the full picture. You're not giving me the full picture. So I just don't want y'all to be fooled, man, by fake entrepreneurship. It's hard, man. It's hard. You're going to have people that's not going to appreciate you fully. Those who you give the discount to going to be the ones that complain the most. Damn, man. Those who they don't respond to you, they not doing what they supposed to do. They not hitting you back on time. And then they hit you 4 months later. Man, I think that, damn, I was waiting on you to respond. So but you gotta, okay, what's the solution? So you gotta deal with that. All this a part of the business. All this be a part of the process and the learning curve. The power call not free. The platform we on not free. But I don't ask y'all for nothing. If y'all know what to donate. Y'all remember what it was for Ramadan? It slowed down. It stopped completely. Hey man, hey man, this is what I said I'm gonna do. So I gotta continue to do it. I tell Sister Randisha, man, I think I'm gonna go down on the price. We can help more people. No, you keep trying to go down. Because in my mind, man, I get it back some type of other way, man. Long as when they say, man, this changed my life, that's the currency, man. But shoot, sometimes I be wanting to say, y'all, I don't know if the light's gonna be on. Hey, I don't know if this light gonna be on. We're gonna be doing the power call in the dark. But hey, we find a way. We make a way. But all that's a part of the process, man. The risk, the sacrifices. If people don't talk about the sacrifices that they gotta make, man, they ain't telling you about their entrepreneurship journey. Cause there was some sacrifices that gotta be made. There's some sacrifices, man. There's some time where you gotta get a loan and say, woo, I need this loan to give me 3 months. And you hoping that something happen and shake within the 3 months. That's what be happening. Some of these businesses, when you look at Amazon and all these, they be in debt, man. A lot of that, millions, multi-millions of dollars, billions in debt. Think about it, in debt. They not in profit, they in debt. Now, obviously they running, they doing well according to capitalism in America, but they be in three-figure millions in debt. And here you are, you ain't making a whole lot of money, but you may have no debt. Or you may have like $200,000, $5,000. I don't know. I'm just trying to paint the picture and put things in proper perspective for us. That some of us, we feel like we so far behind and it's so much for me to learn, Brother Ben. And I'm just gonna get a job. Man, come on, man. Push yourself. Learn one thing at a time. Overcome. When you overcome those things that you thought you wasn't going to be able to overcome, those are the gems that helped you prepare you for the next level. I'm learning from experience, man. They can say what they want to say. I know my heart. I know my intention. I can back up everything I'm saying and what I say with receipts. But you learn that, man, I shouldn't have a 10-hour video in there. I used to think that having a 10-hour video was good. Man, I got a 10-hour video in there. It's so valuable. Man, Ain't nobody finna watch no 10-hour video, dude. But in 2000, you couldn't tell me that in 2021. Oh, I got a 10-hour video. We was live for 10 hours and made $100 and some thousand dollars in 2 days. And I showed you guys how to do it step by step. In my mind, bro, that's valuable. But then I start to think, bro, who's going to rewatch that? Nobody going to be able to rewatch that, bro. So I have to learn. Now I can tell y'all, hey, don't do it like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's too long, guys. Right? But I had to learn that from experience. So the faster you fail, the faster you learn. The faster you fail. But the more you sit back and say, I ain't perfect yet. It ain't perfect. It ain't, no, it ain't all the way ready yet. Well, when I get right, you ain't gonna never get right. It's like parenting, man. When I'm ready, parenting, you gotta learn as you go. Parenting, you can't read no book and say, okay, this is how your son is going to be. This is how you respond. Man, you got to learn your children. Different children need different responses. Different children, you can say certain stuff, different ways, man, you learning as you go. So the faster y'all jump on in, like Brother Daniel said, and just do it, just go, just start, that's the learning process. You learning from your own God is taking you through his curriculum. That's what and I'm going to close on that because I know I've been going for a long time. I hope I'm not boring y'all because, damn, we going on 3 hours. But I'm just getting it all out, man. But I feel like God is taking through his curriculum. Could no college course take you through this here to give you that level of insight, that level of experience? You could have read in a book, but this makes you you got to do this. You can read a book on due diligence. Hey, man, you got to check this. But when you go through it, damn, ooh, it hurt, boy. Oh, you do your due diligence next time, boy. Yeah. Experience. When you can read this about partnerships and what you need to have in place and you need to have agreements and that, you know that until you get into a partnership and then you get stung. Boom. Damn. Okay, the next time, I don't want to sting like this. We have to do pop, pop, pop. So that forced you to do it. Now, you knew you were supposed to do it, but you're like, man, whatever, yeah. But then you go through something. So then you thank God. I thank you for the magnitude that you did it because I probably wouldn't have heard you. See, some of us know you hard-headed. See, God know how hard-headed some of us is. If I would have showed him this in the video, he wouldn't have implemented it. It's like some of us. Can we be real? Like some of us, you done seen videos. You got books. You done been given PDFs. You done been to conferences. How much of it have you still not implemented? Come on, keep it real. How many of us been told you need your business bank account and a personal bank account? How many of you still spending everything out your personal? Then when it come tax time, you like, oh, how can I minimize my taxes? You didn't listen. Come on, man. I'll raise both of my hands. I done it several times. You learn something, you like, man, I know I got to do it. I'll do it later. And then it bites you in the butt. Then next year you say, I got to get this right now. Ooh, but it was the experience. So sometimes I know, people say you book smart and you done got a life, but sometimes you can be taught what to do. You can tell me exactly what I need to do, and I still don't do it. So Allah, he take you through a path. Oh, I'm gonna get him where I want him to be now, but I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna make it stain. Ooh, so these series of events, and sometimes watch this, y'all, as we close. You say, man, why it had to be him, not her? Because if it was somebody else, it wouldn't have impacted you good enough. Oh, that's the lesson I received, man. Shoot. If it was somebody else, if it was Joe Blow, you would have been like, that nigga, man, damn. But I had to make it close because I needed you to hear me. I needed you to get this ASAP. I don't want you to take 5 more years. I need you to feel this and get it now. I don't care nothing about persons. I don't care nothing about your feelings. We got a mission that we on. So the people you talking about you gonna lose in the process of this, this guy, let me not, because I about to say this guy speaking, but if I was God, I don't give a damn about them. We got a bigger mission, man. This ain't about personality, emotions, and love. Listen, we got a people to save. If your best people gotta get off the train, they gotta get off the train. I got you on something, boy. I got you on something, sister. So sometimes we may care about not him, not her. God ain't seeing how y'all grew up playing football together and soccer ball and how y'all used to eat ice cream together. He looking at the redemption of a people, man. So if he gotta use your mama, if he gotta use somebody who you really love to make you get what I need you to get, that's who gonna be used. Cause you didn't get the picture the first time when I put it on that YouTube video and it showed up as a suggested video. You didn't get the picture. You didn't get the picture when I showed you an example of another group, of another people who messed up. You didn't get the picture then because it was somebody. You didn't get it. You didn't get the picture when it was mentioned at that mastermind. You still didn't pick up on it. Okay, I know what to get you. I know what to make you hear it. Oh, let me first-hand experience. Here it comes. So that's how I be thinking, man. I'm thinking like, shoot, man, God don't care nothing about you. You know, if it's meant to be, they'll come back. If it's meant to be, atonement will take place, whatever. But in the process, what by any righteous means necessary, I got to take you down. He got a specific curriculum for us, a certain series of events. Now, I can't believe they said that. Are you serious? Bro, come on, man. We just, not you. You saying it? It got to come from that. Because there's a certain mindset I need you to develop. Yeah, they said it. Yeah. Now sit in it. And you can't, yeah. I'm teaching you something. You'll be okay. It's just a few months. Oh, man, hey, it's okay. You'll be all right. But see, I look at that as he putting fire to that clay. Oh, he got it in some fire. And then he knows at the right time when to cool it off. Oh, then as it's cooling, he's shaping you into the perfect thing that he wants to shape you into. So the fire didn't feel good, but when he cools it off, when he cools you off, ooh, it's gonna make up for all of that. It's gonna make up for all of that. It'll be all right. So I'm through. That's my lecture for today, man. We'll be on this thing 3 hours, man. Let me get up off there. Why y'all let me go this long? But hopefully, man, I said something. Man, honestly, I did not plan on going this long. So maybe this is somebody needed this. All praise due to Allah. I'm just letting it come through as it come in. So hopefully somebody got something and said, damn, man, that's a perspective I needed. And it inspires you to work. It inspires you to keep going. It inspires you to do what's been in your head. It inspires you to handle better whatever you handling. And if it does, man, listen, all praise is due to Allah. So I'll see you guys, inshallah, in the morning. If not, I'll let you guys know. But thank you all for being on the call. Thank you all for staying on so long. And y'all have a blacktastic day. Assalamu alaikum.
Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister.